Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Director Watch, an Awards Watch podcast that attempts to get inside the mind of cinema's greatest auteurs, explore what drives them, and maybe we go on a few unrelated tangents along the way. I'm Ryan McQuade, the executive editor here at Awards Watch, and joining me, as always, is my heart of fire, my co-host, Jay Ledbetter.
Ryan, I was thinking about something. You know that Nike commercial with Spike Lee and Michael Jordan?
Yeah, it's one of like
It's
the
got to be
greatest.
the shoes.
Yeah, it's got to be the shoes.
Was that based on the red shoes?
I mean, his shoes are red, right?
They are red shoes that Spike Lee believes give him the power to be a great basketball player. And Nike is trying to imply gives you the power to be a great basketball player.
I mean, I also think, too,
I think the through line is there.
I think it might be. I also just think, too, Spike is like, there's got to be another reason to explain why my basketball team sucks and can't beat this guy. You know, because
this movie could be called It's Got to Be the Shoes.
I mean, it could be. It also just could be like Spike's delusion about the New York Knicks and their relevancy in the last 50 years.
I'm just talking about shoes, man.
I mean, when was the last time the Knicks were relevant? When they were getting gentlemen swept by the Spurs in the NBA Finals in '99?
They were just relevant last year.
Yeah, they're actually relevant now.
We're talking about one of the greatest movies ever.
One of the greatest films ever made. Kind of the last super mega canonical Archers movie. There are still great ones to come, but this is the last kind of, well,
this is the big
Titan Sound level movie, sort of.
Well, Jay, we've talked about your big one already on this series. This is, in my opinion, the big one.
This is probably the
big one.
Big one in the grand scheme of things.
Where is it on the Sight and Sound? Was it on the Sight and Sound?
Oh boy, now you're making me look it up.
Because I thought you would be prepared for the show. Is our guest prepared?
I've only read 2 books and
I'm
listened
always prepared.
to the commentary of Sight and Sound, or on the Criterion commentary.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah, I think we all did. Let's be real.
And the documentary.
While they're looking that up, we're not alone in this endeavor, of course.
I think it was like 65, 67 maybe. Let me look.
That voice, of course, listeners, is our associate editor, Sophia Ciminello.
67. Tied for 67th.
Tied for 60. What did it tie with?
A bunch of stuff. Metropolis, The Gleaners and I, La Jetée, and Andrei Rublev.
This is better than all those.
It is 1 spot ahead of Totoro.
Better than this. Yeah.
I think it should be number 1.
That's interesting that Totoro is ahead of Spirited Away.
That's because it's as it should be.
I mean,
yeah. Well, hi everyone.
Away, but they're both phenomenal.
Yeah, Sophia.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Sorry,
I know you introduced me, but then we got sidetracked with Sight and Sound, which is
the
totally
Red
fair,
Shoes
as this is a British movie.
It's only 37 spots below Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Okay, I mean, I know we've said this before.
I love Portrait of a Lady on Fire,
but like, my God, what the hell are we doing?
People need to appreciate, and when I say people, I mean everyone who votes in the Sight and Sound poll. Classic cinema.
Well, there's some people,
the Red Shoes.
There were some people that voted in that poll that had no fucking business voting in that poll anyway. Like I saw some people that announced themselves, but like I got accepted to that, and I'm like, should you have? It's a real question.
My professional goal is to be able to vote in 2032, the next time.
No, okay.
If you want to be legitimized, you need to stop coming on this podcast. Truly.
That might be fair.
She can't help herself though, because we're talking about great movies, and this is a great movie. We're here to talk about The Red Shoes, the latest film in our Powell and Pressburger movie series. I'm really excited to talk about this one with you guys. Can't be a movie that we all love and think is a masterpiece, and be the penultimate episode of this series also too. So, which I'm really excited to talk about. And Sophia already kind of laid a little bit of her cards on the table. She didn't lay the full hand just yet, but she put down what do they do when you're playing poker? When they put the first 3 cards down. You know what I'm talking about when you play Texas Hold'em, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
The river.
Thank you very much.
There's 3 of them. One of them's the river. I don't know.
Okay. I saw
a clip recently of a guy who tore his ACL celebrating a hand of poker.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow.
How much did he win?
I don't know.
Oh,
it wouldn't happen to Vicky Page.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't happen to Vicky at all. Sophia, I know this, but our listeners might not know your relationship with Powell and Pressburger. And
let's start with each.
Yeah.
Pressburger first,
And then Powell. And I want 45 minutes on each of them, please.
Oh gosh.
But no, your
We could do
relationship
that easy.
with their films and what you love about them, and I know that, and I know this movie means a lot to you, so we'll talk about that separately. But we've talked about some big films. If you have any stories about those films and what they mean to you as well, those other films that we've mentioned already on the series, do so as well. But why Powell and Pressburger? Why do you love them so much?
Yeah, so I have a really special relationship with London as a city. I studied abroad in London when I was in college, and that was actually when I was introduced to the works of Powell and Pressburger. First, The Red Shoes. So this was actually my first entry into their filmography. I think it is, I mean, there's not really a bad place to start, I think, when you're thinking about their classics, but this one was one of those movies for me where I just thought, where have you been all my life? Like, I would have loved this as a child, even. There's something about the colors and how it transports you and just these characters. It connects with, I think, so many movies that I love. But every time I return to the city, which I do frequently now, for work, I always go to the BFI and I will see if they have any new DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks of any hidden Powell and Pressburger gems or just new packaging, new things that have been released, new books that are there, because these guys are a huge deal in England, as you might expect. But so they, for me, though, I mean, when I think about the films that I love classic films, films from the 40s, 50s, 60s, really into that era. And for this one, it's always so crazy to me when I remember even that it was made in 1948 because it is so ahead of its time. And it's so risky and rebellious and different. And we can talk about how it was received at the time by critics because I think that's actually fascinating. But I actually also just love films. I have a list on Letterboxd called Fancy Girls Going Through It. That is my favorite subgenre, I think, of movie. Phantom Thread, The Earrings of Madame de. I would connect Powell and Pressburger, I think, really to Max Ophuls as a director too. He's one of my favorites. He also worked really closely with Anton Walbrook, who is in this movie as well. But I think this movie is also just incredible. Yes, visually, it might have the single greatest sequence in film history smack in the middle of it. But also, I think there's something deep in it about what happens when powerful people recognize greatness, or what happens when women make choices about what to pursue, the conflict between art and life and being good at your job. Like there's so many themes here that I think I connect with in so many different films, but this one I think does it maybe better than any other. But I love so many of their films. I mean, when I think about how much I love A Matter of Life and Death and Black Narcissus, you could, I mean, I think The Red Shoes for me is top tier. It's their best movie, it's their masterpiece, but I wouldn't begrudge anyone for picking one of those either because those are also very special to me. But yeah, I love The Red Shoes and I'm really excited to dig into it. There's so much to talk about.
As we've discussed already in this series, they have multiple masterpieces,
Mm-hmm.
and their style feels so announced, and yet they're doing things from film to film that feel completely different and really are advancers of the form. Sophia, we've covered this film before, but when we covered it the first time, it was the first time we'd ever seen it. And
Mm.
so as we've gone through the series, we're watching films again with the lens of these are now films in our rotation as some of our, favorites to watch, especially, I mean, Jay, we did that series in 2020 during the pandemic.
Great
And
times.
great times. And now, I mean, I looked when I logged The Red Shoes, I've seen the film now 5, 6 times
Hmm.
on numerous occasions. And now we have been blessed with this glorious 4K restoration as well in that time period. And so we
Criterion, it's going to be sitting right next to K-pop Demon Hunters.
What are your thoughts
I
on
wondered how long it would take you guys
I
to get to
knew
that.
you couldn't resist because at the time of recording this, we just found out about it. Jay, are you okay with that?
I don't care. I don't fetishize Criterion quite the way that some folks do. They deserve to make money on some stuff too, as well as put out shine a light on stuff.
I think they're going to make so much
popular.
money doing this. It's going to be insane.
Probably make a lot of money. Frankenstein is in the conversation for worst film in the Criterion collection, but that's a conversation that we don't need to have
Demon
right now.
Hunters is better than Frankenstein, I think.
Well, I mean,
it could pair nicely with The Red Shoes. It's about, a girl who is very into the arts, who's struggling with her own connections to her identity, not being able to take a break. Lots of connections. Maybe kids can be introduced to The Red Shoes after
both.
K-pop.
Yeah.
What is the greatest evil of all? The way that we treat women. Am I right, folks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will just say that I don't have a problem with Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein in the collection. His other films are in there as well. It's just completing continuing a director's filmography. I will say though, and we've covered his films on this series, but my God, give me the 4K of May, December, like yesterday. Because the idea of I have no problem with K-pop Demon Hunter being in there, but there are so many other Netflix films that we should have in the Criterion.
I own the Wall-E 4K. Okay,
I don't have a problem with them putting K-pop Demon Hunter in there. I just feel like we could put other films from their Oscar years. It's actually kind of absurd that May, December, and Maestro aren't in.
I think that might be more of a Netflix thing than a Criterion thing, if I had to guess.
I guess so. I mean,
think Criterion would probably love to be
there.
the main distributor of
it just feels like
movie.
They put their Oscar films in there, and and May, December, and Maestro are those. I'm not listen. I'm not calling upon them because of because I want them in there. I'm calling upon it because of consistency.
That is the only way that we seem to get Netflix films released on.
And that also means Mank.
Bradley Cooper would be a really fun Lermontov.
Oh man,
he would be good.
Fassbender.
Still haven't seen the old comedy movie. Whatever that one's called. The new one.
Is this on?
Is this thing on?
For me, hasn't been yet.
I think you like it. I think you find it interesting. I'm being genuine. It's actually not a bad movie.
Okay, it's got. I
don't think it's bad.
In it.
Eric's in it.
I'll pass.
There's no, he's not physically in it. Sean Hayes is in it, and if you really look in that scene, it's Eric Anderson, through and through.
It took me out. I was laughing to myself like a lunatic.
You're talking about the fridge scene, right,
yes,
Sophia?
And no one around me was laughing or knew what was going on. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is just a personal thing.
Because it's a completely normal scene. It's completely innocent. And you and I was doing the same thing in Middleburg. I was just like, what is happening here? And I think I texted you immediately after. I was like, he's in this movie. You should get a credit. If they had SAG Ensemble, he totally should be on that list. But no.
But yes, the 4K of The Red Shoes is absolutely stunning.
No. God damn it. You couldn't go one episode without doing the J. Ledbetter bad British accent.
It's gorgeous.
Sophia, I've had to put up with it
phantasmagorical.
So it's like a little tiny bit Cockney.
And a little bit Australian.
Yeah.
It's
a little bit of an Aussie in there.
That's my sweet spot.
It's speaking of Aussies doing Brits. Jay, can I ask you real quick? What do you think of a Lordy being Bond?
Oh my God. Is that happening?
As a rumor, but there's no one's confirmed it.
Too tall.
Yeah.
Too tall.
The wife said the same thing. He's too tall. It can't be stealth.
I was having a conversation with somebody recently about a Lordy.
Well,
and I think that is the last person I would want to be in a room with ever.
I've been in a room with him. He's very nice. He's a very nice guy.
He's too tall, too handsome.
I know. He's a gorgeous
too tall,
man.
Too handsome.
But he's too nice. But the other thing is he's very nice. He's a very, very nice guy.
Too tall, too handsome, Jay,
nice.
too vain.
Well, you're just mad because a guy would be as tall as you. And you look like Superman.
I like being tall.
Yeah.
and he's too tall, too handsome.
Oh, okay.
That's
But
the problem.
he could be as handsome as he wants, but if he was 6 foot, he'd be fine.
I'm not intimidated by a handsome 6-footer. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Like
but,
Tom Blythe. I think he's about 6 feet and he could be Bond.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm at peace with that.
I'm at peace
Okay.
with that too. I think he would be great. I think he would be
Yeah.
very, very good. And also, it's like it kind of fits the mold of like people know him, but he's not he's in like an Academy Award winning or nominated. He's not winning.
He's British.
Yeah, he's British. I need a Brit to play that role, but not to play some of the roles in
You need
this.
a Brit to play the role.
No, I do. No, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do.
I thought you said you didn't. Yeah.
No, I need a Brit to play the role. Be clear. But anyway,
I liked when they asked Taron Egerton and it made like headlines. Taron Egerton not interested in playing Bond, and
Too
everybody's
small.
kind of like, yeah, we're good. Wasn't really, just looked at the odds. You weren't really there in the first place.
is Taron Egerton even a thing anymore? And like,
I don't
movies?
know. He was getting roasted for his hairline today. It's tough. It's tough to see.
was he really?
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm not online anymore.
It's
A
tough.
British-Irish rite of passage.
There you go.
Yeah.
The red shoes.
That's why you
Sophia-
got to get Dua Lipa before it starts. As you can see, it's coming. It's coming.
It'll turn for him one day.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, that's a very,
But okay, the red
very,
shoes.
it's a very lucky man, Colin Turner.
He's a old Callum Turner. I like him. He's
He
a
looks-
handsome boy. That
he
hairline is on its way out the door.
Is the beigest man going right now, and he
He's
must.
a handsome man.
He must be an
I like
incredibly
Eternity.
good
I watched
person.
it again. I like Eternity a lot.
It's a good movie.
He has really dark hair though, which I think helps.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's but
Because Egerton did like a buzz cut.
he looks a little
Yeah.
too Eastern Island head though for me sometimes. I don't know. It's
They all
just-
have that kind of
You know what I'm
look,
talking.
but
You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
like
Sophia.
but
Gotta
like a
have a
George
big head.
Mackay is worse because
Yeah.
he's almost blonde, so it's just all beige.
Well, you
all
know me.
khaki.
I kind of also feel that about Harris Dickinson. I've been a little, I know you and I differ on that, but I did,
He's not really my type either, though, because my whole thing with Baby Girl is just like, why would you leave Antonio Banderas for him?
that's true. Because Antonio Banderas still can get it.
Because I'm like, if your core tension is Antonio Banderas is bad in bed and Harris Dickinson is it, I can't believe that.
You know what? That's bad
That is
casting.
actually, yeah. If anybody who's ever seen a Pedro Almodovar movie, you're like, this is a stretch.
Well,
Yeah.
you know who was originally supposed to play that role?
Jude Law.
It was Jude Law, and I don't believe that either.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
I didn't
don't believe
realize the guy in How to Make a Killing is Jude Law's son.
Oh,
Who,
you
Glenn-
didn't? They
Glenn
look
Powell? I
exactly
didn't
the
know that.
same.
it. Glenn
They look
Powell.
exactly the same.
Yeah, Glenn Powell is Jude Law's son.
Wow, nepotism.
Mm-hmm.
It's running around. I still haven't seen that film. Probably,
Yeah, it's not good.
probably won't.
Mm.
It's not getting a ton of. Even Sophia wasn't hyping
I
it
saw
up for
it.
me.
It was
You know?
fine, but
Yeah.
Margaret Qualley, it was the first time I have not been into her in a film.
Really?
I just
I
was
thought
like,
she
no.
was awful in it.
I thought she was
Really?
really bad.
She looks
Yeah.
great.
Does that?
But her character too, it was just like, ugh. I was so annoyed every time she showed
Well,
up.
Jay, she's a tentative, important person.
I mean, she's all the way there.
No, she's not. No, because she's with Antonov, and I think Antonov puts you into the yellow category, not in the green.
Okay.
Yeah.
She,
Because
I believe the
look at
way-
him. He's like one of the goofiest looking people on the planet. I hate
He
him.
fits
some
into
boy.
that like no, yeah, no.
Like, how did you get like Colin Turner? I understand. Jack Antonoff, I don't. That's just it's
Beautiful women have been with average looking
That
musicians
is true. Have you
for
seen
so
Tim
long.
Burton's scorecard?
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
Tim,
gosh.
but Tim
Monica
Burton's got riz.
Bellucci and Ava Green, and it's crazy.
It's
Hel-
crazy.
Even Helena Bonham Carter, to be fair, at a,
It's
at a certain
really
age, she
crazy.
was, you know,
He just
yeah,
dates the people that he wants to
But
be
he's
in
a-
his movies.
he's a genius, right?
He was a while ago.
But he's a goofy looking guy.
I mean,
that's
he's
like
yeah,
one
he's a
of-
goof,
Yeah.
but he's got talent. I don't think
Looks
Antonoff
like a
has that much
cartoon.
talent. I'm not sold on
You haven't
Antonoff
heard all
as a talent.
those great Taylor Swift albums.
No, we can't do that today.
All too well, you know.
You don't remember
Antonov,
Tonight
Anton
We Are
Wahlberg.
Young?
Red shoes.
Yeah,
Let's-
fun.
Yeah.
Fun was garbage.
The best thing about that song is Janelle Monáe.
I hate that song.
That song is so bad.
It's why did we pick that in the? Can we pick that in a song draft down the road? Anyway, play that down the road for our friends here. The Red Shoes.
Yes.
Not a song, not a song, by the way, that would be played in here. Though I gotta say this about the Red Shoes, last tangent. The fun song. That would be kind of played at the US Olympics, right? In the freestyle, right? It felt like that was the music. A lot of them were picking were songs from like the 90s and 2000s. They were picking for like you know what I'm talking about, Sophia, like the freestyle
Lots
stuff.
of
figure
songs
skating?
you would
Yeah,
hear
for the figure
in a
skating.
Macy's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in a Ross Payless
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alyssa Liu was the only one I thought, aside from the Italian skater who chose the Jaws theme, that was very fun.
That was very cool.
Alyssa Liu doing Donna Summer, that was great.
That was very good. I don't know. I'm maybe hearing like RuPaul during the mixed couples was a bit much.
RuPaul, I missed that.
Yeah, you missed. I'll
Was
have
it
to find
Star
it for you.
Booty? What was it?
I forgot which one it was. It was, but like Sophia or my wife Sophia and I were like literally like, is that RuPaul? Like it was crazy. It's during the mixed couples. You know what I
What
mean?
would
Okay.
you have done for your song?
Well, obviously fun. That's like the Drops of
Yeah,
Jupiter.
we are young.
Yeah.
I would have done Asher Roth. I love college.
Sophia, what would you have picked?
I can't follow that up.
I think that's a
Probably
great
something
song.
from Phantom Thread.
I want to go to college for the
Man,
rest
come
of my life.
on. Pick something fun.
Phantom Thread is fun. No,
I
maybe
know.
I'd pick, I don't know.
Pick some-
I like the disco theme
Yeah.
that she did.
Yeah.
But
she did a great
yeah.
job. She's awesome. She was
Maybe
awesome.
Challengers.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Is that too fast for figure skating?
Well, it's
Well,
free skate. You can do
It's
all
free
the
skin. You can
twists
do
and
whatever the
turns
hell you
want.
want. Yeah.
True.
The Red Shoes.
Wow, what a time.
Yeah. To be alive. Sophia, like I said, you put your cards out on the table. You said this was your favorite Powell and Pressburger film. Why do you love it?
Where to begin?
Yes.
Really.
Start the clock, listeners.
I think it is one of the most visually stunning movies you can ever see. The cinematography, the costumes, just the colors. It's so vibrant and you just feel alive when you're watching it. And that's always what I want to feel when I'm watching a great film. And I think the best films do that. So Jack Cardiff here, I mean, his work is just the greatest. But we're building and building to this 17-minute sequence in the middle of the movie, which is, I think, what a lot of people have, associated with this movie and what it's come to really be known for. But everything around that, I think, is so great too. Like you were telling this story, right? It's really a parallel story of two people interacting with this impresario, Lermontov, but you have Julian Craster, who is this music student who goes to the ballet at the beginning and he hears his music. He notices that his professor has plagiarized him. And at this same show, right, at the same ballet, we also have Vicky Page there with her aunt. And so their stories as these people who are up and coming and chasing their dreams and careers, they're on these parallel tracks and then they really intersect with Lermontov. And I think that that's such an interesting way to tell that story. And I think Boris Lermontov, who is played brilliantly here by Anton Walbrook, is such a charismatic, dark, wicked, seductive person. And he's one of my favorite characters, really, in all of film, but especially film from this period. And just to watch how he manipulates those around him, how he gains control, but also, in this role where he's not a dancer, he's not the musician in the way that Craster is, right? But he has, I think, this need to possess the talents of those around him. And I think that's always a very interesting theme to get into. So the story is also just there and the acting. And then by the time you get to that sequence, it feels like something that is, again, so ahead of its time. Filmmakers have endlessly copied it. And it was so, I think, different and impressionistic at the time that I think people really didn't know how to react to it because it wasn't realistic. It was, it had that kind of Fantasia feel to it. And it's hard to explain why it works so well. But when you're watching it, I think for the first time, there's truly nothing like it. It's like witnessing one of the all-time great works of art. But then when you revisit this film and you've seen the end and you know what's coming for her specifically, you always know that, I think, right? The foreshadowing is there in the script and it's really well done in this meta tale that's based on the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. But when you're seeing her performance play out and you're realizing that, okay, this is also her life, like we're seeing her budding romance there. We're also seeing how she feels about Lermontov, and we're seeing what's to come for this character. And I think it's this really beautiful tragedy. And it's one of those movies that isn't just beautiful to look at or just well written and well acted. It's all of the above. And the best films can do that, right? It's you want something that is visually magnificent. Cinema is a visual medium, but it has everything else there to back it up. So it is just, I think it's a perfect film. One of my all-time favorites. It's usually in my letterbox top four. Sometimes I will rotate it out, but it's one of those that's always in rotation. So yeah, I love it.
Jay, I know that
Yeah.
you are like myself. You've seen this multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And, buddy, I know you love this movie too.
I do.
So,
Indeed.
what are your thoughts on now having this movie, not as a first time watch anymore, but as a movie in your rotation? Like, what do you love about the rewatches and the stuff that you learned over the years? Um, Now having seen the Red Shoes.
I'll just say this right off the bat, having now seen it several times now, I think it honestly gets a little bit of a bad rap because people just obsess over the sequence and kind of forget that the rest of the movie is also spectacular. It does have you could call it the movie sequence. It could just be described as kind of the greatest scene in cinema history, and that would be a completely valid opinion.
Yeah, very valid.
It is almost definitely in the top 5 to 10. The ballet sequence is one of the most sublime works of art that has been conceived in the last 100 years. But the rest of the film has so much to say. I love a Hans Christian Andersen adaptation because as dark as this movie is, Hans Christian Andersen is still just like, what a freak. What an absolute lunatic
It's
that guy
so much
was.
worse.
It's crazy. I have not read the work itself, but I did read the summary in the wonderful BFI book that I purchased and read for this book, and it takes it far further. That man, he wanted you to be on your best behavior. He
Hmm.
was not messing around. And taking that and turning it into a film like this, which is a film about art. This is in many ways a meta work, a story of what it takes to achieve great art, what you have to sacrifice to make great art, and whether those things, whether sort of personal relationships and great art are truly compatible. And this is something that's been explored a lot. I think this is one of the first early great instances of that because this is where this is where film is becoming a true art form. I think Powell and Pressburger were kind of at the forefront of the convergence of truly popular art and great art. And as film is becoming more legitimized and more respected, you have things like this where Powell specifically is sort of ruthless in his attempts to make a truly great work of art in what at the time was considered a more populist medium. And this is a movie that tackles, um, you know, treatment of the genders. It talks about what the power imbalance in art. It Also is one of the most visually striking films in history, one of the great works of Technicolor ever made. The design of the film feels like it feels like it was made 30 years after it was actually made, at least. It is such a striking movie, an incredible film to look at. And this is just a classic Ryan, Sophia, Jay episode where I think I like it a little bit less than everybody else, than the other two on the podcast. We can't have it any other way. It's probably my fourth favorite Powell and Pressburger movie. I think it's one of the best 50 movies ever made. That's where I'm at with it.
Which three do you like more?
Matter, Life, and Death, Narcissus, and Blimp.
Oh, Blimp. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they're all great. I love all those too.
I just said one of the 50 greatest movies ever made.
Yeah.
That means they have 4 of the 50.
I think that is probably where I stand. I think this is the end of the greatest 3-film run ever.
Wow.
Wow. Someone make the argument they have the 4-film.
If you go back and you do I Know Where I'm Going and I mean
that kind of gets the.
I Know Where I'm Going. I don't consider a masterpiece, but it's a phenomenal film.
Yeah,
I love I Know Where I'm Going. The title alone.
It's a great title. We love punctuation in the title.
Sophia, quick question: do you love the song in I Know Where I'm Going? The little song that's in there, because Jay and I. We don't like that
sounds
song.
Like the song from Totoro.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
Oh no, I love the Totoro
I love Totoro's
song.
song. You better not be.
No, I mean, I think like would I ever listen to it in isolation? No, but in the movie,
I kind of want you to now listen to it in isolation.
Maybe,
now that you brought it
maybe
up.
I will after this.
Like a nice walk in the snow. Maybe they're in New York or
just
something.
Marching along.
I know where
I don't think that's a crazy take that they've made 4 of the greatest 50 movies ever.
I don't think it's a crazy take.
Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong. I'm just clarifying and putting it.
These are some of my guys,
almost 10% of that list.
Yeah.
I mean, that is actually a crazy thing to say when you put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But stand by it.
But they are some of my favorite directors. Like,
so here you go. So here's what you've got in the top 50. 12 Malick films. one through 12.
I know
7 Michael Manns, 4 Powell and Pressburgers, 5 David Lynch's. I think we're up to about 40.
Well, what about
right.
PTA?
You can throw in some one-offers in there.
Throw some PTA films in there, some
PTA
Altmans
in there.
I have 4. I have 4 in
chick.
my top 100. I have 4 Archers in my all-time top 100.
I think that's totally
maybe
fair.
100 is maybe 50 is a little aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're backing off, and I don't.
They have 4 in the top 10.
4 in the, they have 4 in the top 5.
I'll say 4 in the top 100.
There you go. All right, so 4%. There you go. I mean, Jay kind of undersold it, or maybe oversold it, or he just sold it.
I said nothing. I said only glowing things, and then I undercut it.
There you go. But he, he said exactly the truth, which is Sophia thinks this is one of the greatest movies ever made, and she is 1000% right.
Would you actually put it at like number 1 movie, Sophia?
Ever?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it would be up there. Like, I would say for me, like if I was voting in the Sight and Sound poll,
Well, this is the question.
It would be this or Vertigo.
Okay. So you wouldn't put your favorite film of all time at number 1?
No.
So you're one
I
of
would
those.
Favorite versus best debate.
Yeah, it's
I think people who separate them are cowards.
Because I would feel weird putting a film from 2017
Yeah,
top of the
That's
all-time
fair.
list.
I don't know. People put a movie from 2019 above this on the damn list.
That's crazy.
You know,
See,
that's
I can't
crazy
do that.
talk.
Like, I'll put Phantom Thread at 3, but like
Yeah.
I would put Vertigo and The Red Shoes higher, and maybe All That Jazz too, which I think is actually a great double
I thought you
feature
put
with
Rosemary
this.
Baby up there too.
That's up there too.
Yeah.
That's an
Vertigo
all
and the Red Shoes have a lot in common.
Network and The Red Shoes. Is that what you said?
No, Vertigo.
Vertigo. You said Network, right? Yeah, Vertigo and The Red Shoes. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. This is like in the top 5 films for me of all time. When we watched this years ago in the pandemic, and for that series, it's kind of like was like an earth-shattering, mind-blowing event for me. And I have watched this multiple times since, and it has been one that I have been waiting 5 years to get my wife to watch, because I watched this on the Criterion for that series, and I truly thought I think, Jay, you're right. It is undersold how great this movie is outside of that sequence. And I think you guys even undersold how great that sequence is.
Well, I
And
feel
I'm
like
not
we
saying
have to spend time on it
I
on
know we
its
have.
own
I know.
thing.
I'm not
So
going
we-
there yet.
These
I'm
are
not going there
opening
yet.
statements.
No, but
Yeah.
I know, and I'm not shaming you guys for it. It's just because I don't know if we have enough time to explain how wonderful that sequence is. It truly is. It's like up there with sequences in Singing in the Rain, where you're like, how did they pull off the
But also, Singing
choreography?
in the Rain doesn't exist without this movie.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And so you're just like, holy shit. Like, there's just things done with the camera in this movie. There are narrative constructions that just feel like they have been etched in time because of this. Prickly characters. Like, this is like the ultimate prickly character. And Lermontov, that I think, man, you don't see a lot of those characterizations in Scorsese films, in Paul Thomas Anderson. I think there's a connection. Sophia and I, a couple of years ago, I was telling her, I was like, there is a Lermontov, Lydia Tarr connection there, like through and
Oh, I can't
through.
wait to talk about him as Lydia.
There are a ton of those things, and really the movie of like obsessions and of what art means to you, the tug and pull of that. I do feel like, artists have been struggling that for decades and decades and decades on film and in any other medium, and this is one of those ultimate films. It's a complete masterpiece. It is a top four film for me all time, period, end of story. I think that this movie only gets better as you watch it and you get more detailed into it. I've become it's become a weirdly a comfort watch for me, just because I am in awe of this thing. And I think that every time you watch it, yeah, it does. You unpack it's more and more from the meticulous creation of everything that Powell and Pressburger is doing, the story itself being this mirrored reflectionness of the red shoes to the main story that they have created there as well. This sort of rise and fall and tragedy. But then, to your point, Jay, that the creation of art and what it takes out of all of us, what we're willing to give up and what we're willing to not give up to chase our dreams. There's a massive amount of that I felt. But there's this darkness, and there's also this almost insidious nature of Lermontov that is both jealousy and ownership and possession that's dangerous, but also extremely interesting. It's like a moth to a flame, how much you want to keep seeing this terrible person keep knitting and weaving his web into Vicky's mind. And yet it's all beautiful. The movie is one of the most beautiful films you're ever going to see. It's shot impeccably. The sort of blending of sets and location shooting and the matte paintings and the stage production, the music, everything is at an all-time high for them. This is an extraordinary also restoration that Criterion, the Hollywood Foreign Press, Martin Scorsese, everybody put their back into really getting this thing made and with Criterion involved and getting us that. And then when they started doing the 4K upgrades, it made 1000% sense that this would be the film, one of those first films to get the upgrade on to 4K. And lastly, before we kind of break it off, to answer the question or to say it, it took 5 years to get my wife to watch this, because she does have a ballet background, before I met her and a little bit after. And I thought that she would find this movie to be extremely fascinating. And she did. She thought it was wonderful. One of the films that, once I hype it up, finally lived up to the hype. And also just her her first statement when it was over is that goddamn men suck, which is very true. And I loved watching this time through her perspective, but also the little other small details that I found in it. This is a masterpiece. Maybe one of the best films that we've ever covered. We've covered now 2 of my 4 favorite films of all time on Director Watch. Here we've covered There Will Be Blood, and now we have covered this. And There Will Be Blood, a little bit of tie-in there as well, I think, to Lermontov and maybe some Daniel Plainview stuff as well. It's a masterpiece. It's one of the greatest films we'll ever make.
I'll offer a testimonial for a former dancing wife as well. My wife danced for...
Oh, I thought you were going to say you danced, and I would actually pay $1 million to watch that.
All of her whole life, I was like, oh, this is about ballet. It has one of the greatest ballet sequences of all time. You'll love it. She, growing up, was like, 6 hours after school at the ballet studio, danced in college, all that fun stuff, but she fell asleep. So, nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
No. Except for Vicky.
I mean,
except for Vicky.
She does seem perfect in this.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Oh my God, not a Christopher Nolan segment right into this.
Batman 2020 or 2008.
Yeah, there you go. Batman. It's called The Dark Knight, sir. If you're going to at least quote
that was
it.
A quote from Batman.
Well, no, I mean, it was actually from Harvey Dent who said it first, and then Batman says it at the end of the film. Well, yeah, I mean, he is Two-Face by the end of that film. Anyway, Sophia, continue this conversation down.
You either die a hero.
Yeah, that's the end of the comic book.
Yeah.
Thing. Great.
Yeah. Well, who knows? We're going to bring up Iron Man 2 in about 60 minutes.
I think I also just really enjoy, we should probably start with Lermontov actually, because I think we've started to talk about, he is the most interesting character, I think, here that we deal with. I mean, we can talk about the other 2 as well, and we should, but I think in the way we're introduced to him, he's this figure really clouded in mystery.
Mm-hmm.
We see his name, the Ballet Lermontov, but we don't really know much about him. I love when we see all of the students flying into those seats too to watch the ballet. It's try to imagine anyone now doing that. Yeah, just flying in there. And you get this idea of them also being passionate about art. And that's a huge thing at this time too, right after the war, where they were trying to make a love for art and a passion for art feel really radical through their films. Powell and Pressburger were, and I think this is probably the biggest example of that. But to Lermontov, I mean, again, clouded in mystery. He's behind a curtain, really, at the ballet. When we first see him, we just see his hand, and we just see these letters, right, about this party that's going to take place later. And I think so often in the film, he's almost framed like a vampire or this monstrous, otherworldly character. He's not even a person. He doesn't have the same types of desires and fancies that regular people have. And he can never really be on the same plane as them. And I think one of his greatest frustrations is that he sees someone, I think, like Victoria Page in particular, as someone who is so talented. Why would she ever, give that up or settle for anything else but dedicating herself to that craft? And for him, he doesn't have anything else. That is his life, his role as someone who is pulling the strings, who's controlling, who's manipulating those around him, and who's dedicated to his work. He doesn't have relationships outside of that. We don't see him, caring about really anyone else. He is just, you always see him in that, I always call it a lair that he has, because he's always just wearing dark clothes, and he's lit by candles. But even when the first prima ballerina leaves to get married, he's like, okay, I'm done with you. See you later. Any relationship
he just bolts. He's not even there.
He doesn't even say anything. Yeah.
And you see her run after him, and he's already gone. And then you see that sequence on the train where she's trying to get that closure, And he's just like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, all right,
Mm-hmm.
fuck off." And like,
Yep.
and he walks away because it's genuinely this almost disgusted nature at like, you want to blow all this for a man?
Yeah.
And
He has nothing else. Like
no,
he is a
No.
ghoul. He really
Mm-hmm.
is just like a demon with
Yeah.
one
He like
goal.
feeds off of it and he
I
can't
love how
understand.
horror inspired this movie
It's
is.
so horror inspired.
it's so much. I mean, just the way in which too he's mostly in rooms, and when he's outside, he's he's got shades on, he's got the hat, and he's got and
He's so
everything.
pale.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
he's so pale. It's that he's inside those theaters. It's that
Mm-hmm.
he's a not. I'm not making this to make a joke or anything, but it feels like he's like a vampire, like a phantom of his own, trapped within his own company, within creating the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when he offers Vicky the role, he like Cresta walks in and he's just like, "Come on, like make the score, let's go. Like, I need a rewrite. I needed it yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's already like we're already on to the next thing.
Well,
Like
yeah, he's
he's
sort of like, I don't care if he stole this from you. It's good. If you can
yeah,
make something better,
yeah,
Yeah.
go.
and become an
I have no
apprentice.
use for you as a person. You are
Yeah,
a
Mm-hmm.
tool for me.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, in that scene too, when she is invited to, and she's wearing the beautiful blue gown and the cape and the crown, and
Gotta tell you, massive
oh,
mistake. Like, yeah, like
but she gets there and she's just like, okay, this is it, because it's like he's just wearing this like his little scarf and it's very
they
casual.
all look like they just got off a yacht, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Her
And
she's like,
her crown is hilarious.
her crown is hysterical.
but she puts in so much effort to it, and he does something that is so bitchy. And it's just one of the best lines I think that he has, that I just am like, oh, you are getting under, like, you want to get under her skin a little bit. You want to make her feel something here. And he says, like, we want you in the principal part. My belief in your possibilities is not shared by my colleagues.
Yeah,
And the rest is, of course, up to you. Like,
God.
they'll support you, but they don't believe in you like I do. So he's instantly just saying, like, this is yours, but this is my doing.
I mean,
I
is
put
he?
you here.
But is it
It's
all?
such a
Is it?
that's so Reynolds Woodcock coded
It's
some
yeah.
Hmm.
It's
people.
so.
Very,
It's very
very.
much like, yes, you are good enough to get this because I said so, but everybody else thinks you know you're
Yeah.
terrible. So go prove them
Hmm.
wrong. And then I think the one of the
It's just
best scenes.
these hypothetical someone else.
Yeah,
Just
it's like, no,
Yeah.
it's you, dick. Like, like
Hmm.
it's you because I
no, it's
think
not even that. It's just he might actually believe in her, but he needs
he needs
to
to push it. But he's
light
to
a fire.
yeah,
Yeah.
it needs
Yeah.
to like, he needs to like tell you, oh, you shouldn't have,
You
you
can't
put
pull the
that.
rabbit out of the hat if the rabbit's not
I
there, like he
can't
says
tell you you're
later.
great because then you'll never
Mm-hmm.
be great, you know?
It's such a
There's
well-written movie.
there is
Hmm.
one of the I think it's one of my favorite shots in the film of Lermontov. It's when Vicky is dancing the red shoes. It's like the dress rehearsal. And Julian is just like snaps at her. And the archers push the camera back on. It's a quick cut to Lermontov, and he is so giddy at the two of them bickering and yelling and everything. And it feels like he knows that something special is kind of happening here and it's about to happen. But he loves the torment of these two departments coming and clashing together. It's almost as if like they are his playthings that he's put investment and time into, and he's just watching them just rip each other apart, and he's so gleeful about it. It's the watching this film too. Again, it's as if Lermontov represents the auteur, the visionary, and that there's the stuff on the screen as you were mentioning, Sophia, and with this history, and then there's the stuff behind the scenes as well, the craftsman. And that's what's so interesting about those first 5 minutes is that upstairs, these students, these people that are learning, these fans, these admirers, these people that are salivating, waiting hours in line to get there. Half of them are there to hear the music. And they could give a shit about the ballet. And the other part is to see the dancers, and they could give a shit about the music. And that is kind of something
Yeah,
that Jay
are
and
you
I
here
have.
to see it or here to hear it, right?
This is
Yeah.
this is kind of what Jay and I have talked about filmmaking as a form. People go to it for various different reasons. You could go to it for the visuals and what it looks like and the striking things, or you could go for it for story and plot and acting and what a film can do to push the medium of that art form forward. And it's all done under the strings are being controlled by an entity or a person that has all this brilliance bubbling inside of their head, but are considered mad geniuses. And through and through, there's rises and falls, but mostly those people are the ones that stay consistent, and they're the ones that get the consistency of praise from season to season, from film to film, from time to time, from show to show. And that's what Lermontov, I think, sort of represents. And I think that that's so interesting for Powell and Pressburger at the turn of the war and everything, like kind of shining a mirror of like, this is, this is going to be the art, that the movie that they're making is making it about the art form of the past. But really what they're going to showcase in this film is that this form that they work in, film, by just the 17-minute sequence alone, or the rest of the film, or the dark themes that they explore, or these characters that they're going to create, this is the art form of the future. I actually think that there's a little bit of a message there as well with it. It's not overtly and beats you over the head, but it does speak to that they are people that really are conscious about the past and the present, and it reminds you just of great artists that we've talked about before on this series and past stuff in the past, Jay. That I really find interesting, because that's where the conflict then arises too. In a lot of this film is that there's this massive force in the middle of one view of thinking of what this whole project is all about. And then, that's the difference between Vicky's work and then even Julian's work. And then it all kind of clashes and crumbles. And then there's Lermontov right in the middle of it, who I have to say is one of the most fascinating characters maybe we've ever covered, Jay, in general over the years.
Cool guy, good guy.
Cool guy, good guy. You grab a breakfast full of fruit with this man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm taller than him, so he's cooler by me. I will push back on you a little bit on the cinema as the future of art thing, because this film was very explicitly made to reflect more of sort of the silent era type of filmmaking. It is what Michael Powell referred to as the composed film. So it was a movie that was sort of reverse engineered from music, which I think is a really cool way to kind of make a movie, and it really speaks to the dance elements of the films and things of that nature. I think they were going for something entirely classical. I think what is cool about the Hans Christian Andersen thing is an entirely classical story.
Yep.
They are certainly twisting that on its head. You could argue the moral of this story is the exact opposite of Hans Christian Andersen's story, which is very cool. So it's a very forward-thinking version of something classical, and maybe that's what you mean by sort of moving the medium forward, which this certainly is moving the medium forward.
Yeah, because even if they're unintentionally,
sort of a reflection of maybe sort of a mirror image of everything that had kind of come before. And it moved the medium forward in ways that very few films have.
I mean, it has at least a dozen or two shots where I just go, how the fuck did they do that?
There's a lot of that.
There's a lot
of this. It really
this
does
movie.
It
unintentionally or not.
If you showed somebody the dance sequence, the ballet sequence alone, they would be like, oh, this is what, like 1975?
Oh, yeah.
They would think this came out after The Matrix.
Well, when I compare it to all that jazz, that's what it feels like to me. It's
very
like that final
Sophia.
sequence, right? Of you in that movie too, you have a hedonistic artist at the center who's very much controlling those around him and making their lives worse, who is, in the very end, we're dealing with something that is not in real life. It doesn't feel like it, right? And that is what I think also with the ballet sequence in the middle, like that got a lot of pushback at the time, because even though it was classical and it was based on, German expressionism and techniques that had existed before, because they were doing it in such a different way, I think it was the clash of formalism and then futuristic thinking and execution that confused people and made people think like, what is this? What are we watching? This is not what I'm used to seeing.
Blood. Yeah, like that blood. Why are you indulging in the Technicolor blood?
But like
It's like, get
that's
ready
like
for Peeping Tom, y'all. Y'all
oh
are not
yeah.
ready for that.
Right. But Jay, you were talking about like with the fairy tale, like with Hans Christian Andersen, like that ends with her having to get her feet cut off, right? And we don't get that
Essentially as punishment
here,
for
wearing the red
rejecting.
shoes.
Yeah. For
Hmm.
she has it, I mean, both are sort of about, you have to choose art or the nuclear family, more or
Yeah,
less. Very sort of old school sensibilities. But
very. But I think what's interesting there that does connect to this a bit is that in that story, and obviously like that's from the 1800s, so
mhm,
you're looking at a very different time, but it is punishing a woman for making a choice and for something that is connected to vanity. And here, I do think there's a little bit of that with Vicky in thinking like, what is she allowed to actually want?
mhm.
That's such a core theme for her. And so many of the people around her, specifically the two men, I think Craster is awful too. Like I know that Lermontov is the villain, but the both of the men in her life just kind of want to possess her. They don't want to care for her and support her. Like they are using her for what they want and not really thinking of what she needs in that process either.
No, over
It's
yeah.
sort of Lermontov is sort of presented as the villain of the story because
Hmm.
he has no interest in anything except achieving his art.
Right.
Craster comes along and it's sort of like, oh, you can be in love and also be incredibly successful in your art. And then for Vicky, it's like you can't. You're not allowed to
Hmm.
do that. And so
Right.
originally it's like, oh, so here's the sort of manipulative, artist, auteur guy who doesn't care about anything else. And then there's Vicky who wants that but also wants love, but she's not able to get it. But Julian is allowed. And that's kind of the crux of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is the thing also too for me is that when I first watched it, and we've watched it a ton over the last couple of years, is that I always thought that even though yes, Lermontov has these sort of manipulative, selfish way in which he wants to get Vicky back into the company and back on the stage and everything in the final act, he's ultimately the one that's right, even though his methods are completely of madness, because Julian's methods are even far worse than everything. By the end, like his decision,
I think
by
that's
the,
up for debate.
I think Julian by the end is actually the
I
real
think they're
villain
both
of this
bad.
movie. I think that what Lermontov does to kind of just continue to weave it and put this doubt into her is obviously the thing that pushes her over in the edge. But
Lermontov
Julian,
is ecstatic that Vicky is failing.
I
She
I
think
is
I
so
like
happy.
I like characters like Lermontov more, which is why I get into this predicament because like Julian Craster to me is a character who I just I'm less interested in his ways because he's just not as exciting to me.
Sophia just appreciates honesty about being an asshole.
well,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
be direct with me.
I mean,
Yeah.
Let me know how you
he
are.
is selfish, but at the end of the day, Lermontov does want her to work. Like,
No,
Crasta's like,
Lermontov
stay
wants to
home
make
and cook
great.
for me after I made the score. You
Lermontov
know?
does not care about Vicky one iota.
Mm-mm.
He thinks
No.
she is a tool for him to
Oh yeah.
make
But in the
create
course
with.
of that tool,
She is clay.
she gets the satisfaction that she truly is missing. That by choosing to be with
But
Julian
it's not
Crasta,
because he's doing her a
I
favor. It's
understand
because
that.
he thinks he can
I understand
Because
that.
think
please
the
her.
show goes on without her in the end.
The show does go on, but it's not the same for him. It's
No.
not the same because he's willing to dump the what's her name, the other prima,
The ballerina at the
the other
beginning.
ballerina at the beginning,
Grisha, is that her
Grisha.
name?
Yes, he's willing to dump her at a moment's notice, even after
She's
a
like,
good season.
Boris. I
Yeah,
No,
do.
it's not Grisha. What's her name?
no, Grisha's
Grisha's the guy.
the choreographer,
Irina.
Arena.
Irina
He's
Bornskaya.
he has a good season with her, and it's fine, but it's not the same. It's not the same as the season when Vicky did the red shoes and they hadn't danced it and they hadn't been able to bring it over and it's not the same. So yes, even though he is selfish, there is something about like he needs her. And there is also like
But
there's
he
also
needs her. He's not able to recognize what she needs.
exactly. He's completely selfish. I'm not saying that he's not.
Yeah.
But I'm also saying is that like in the course of getting what he wants, he's giving her what she really wants. She does want to be a dancer, and she has given all
But
that
he's
up.
not doing it out of any sort of.
I understand that, Jay, but she's getting what she wants, and she's not getting that while she's being at home waiting for Julian Craster to finish his damn opera because she's just going to be the housewife. He's telling her and she's acknowledging that he's right, that Lermontov is correct in that she misses this. She does. And Craster leaving his opening night, finding out that if you're not going to stay at home, then this is over and I want a divorce. Fuck that guy. I don't give a what a weak-minded prick. He's just as bad, if not even worse than Lermontov, because he doesn't even know what he wants. He wants only him to be successful. He doesn't want a partnership. He wants a wife at home. He wants the nuclear family. He wants that. He wants to be the star. And a little bit of that takes, and of course that takes completely away from Vicky. And it's too little too late by the time she jumps out of there for him to realize that, like, if he just let her dance, they could have had both what they wanted.
Well, there is that, and then there is also the shoes, which
there's also
violent, fantastical force.
Exactly.
Right.
Where from the perspective of what are ballet shoes, but I think traditionally a very kind of feminine image. You have that kind of trophy early in the film, the statue that is sort of indicative of the great feminine beauty of this very violent object. Actually, I was talking to Allie, my wife, as we were watching this movie. I was like, what is it like wearing ballet shoes? She's like, it is so bloody. You lose toenails. It's miserable.
Well, Megan was telling me, she was like, they would have gone like through 4 or 5, 6 pairs during that show.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have just gone through one. So she was like, because they just get beat up so quickly.
And so it does become this idea of what she should be rather than the actual identification of her as a person. And I think that is one of the great through lines of the film.
Well, I mean, also at the end, she's dancing. She's going to dance the Red Shoes again. Who wrote the score for the Red Shoes, but if not Julian Craster. So he's as part of her death in the end, and her part of her curse than Lermontov is.
But I do think it's interesting. They're both bad. Men are bad.
But I like Lermontov more.
Well, Lermontov has great sunglasses, and he's just like cool and dark and mysterious. Yeah. And I think though what's so manipulative also about Lermontov is, at the end, like when he says to her too, like, would he give it up if you asked him? He knows what he's doing there.
Yeah, he knows.
He's trying to make her see something.
But is he wrong also?
I don't think he is wrong.
But I also like Nosferatu.
I know he is, but it's all he's Count Dracula.
Totally
it's like is.
But the part about those red shoes that I think is so interesting that I've always loved about the ending is that, and it's so sad, but in the ballet itself, she doesn't start in the red shoes. Like she puts the red shoes on in the ballet in the middle, right? Or early. I mean, it's early, but she doesn't come out on it.
Of just
the best
tying.
shot. It takes my breath away.
It's just like again.
We can
How did she do it? How did they do it? I
don't know. Sophia. No, it's okay. But then like the fact that she like the red shoes, she has those on right in her dressing room. Like they are what propel her right to her death, and it gives it this really dark, ambiguous quality. Like why does she have to put them on then and there?
Yeah. No, for sure.
I was thinking when I was a kid, I do just remember ballets in general having this little bit of sinister energy to them. There would always be something in any sort of classical opera or ballet where it was a little bit scarier than you expected it to be.
Well, I think with ballet, like you were talking about with the shoes, like it's beauty and violence. That's always like the clash in ballet films, in the world, like the actual practice of ballet. Like it's a very violent, physical thing, but also so beautiful and elegant at the same time and so feminine.
Thinking about binding my feet.
Sophia, I that'll be Patreon content down the road. Um, but I do want to kind of ask you this as we are
My
talking
wife
about.
has tiny, tiny, tiny feet from the ballet distorting her foot bones.
Oh,
She can wear
that's
kid shoes. It's
really
crazy.
that's
Oh my God.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She
Wait,
danced so much.
like a size what?
5,
Wow, that's nuts.
I
five and a
have boat
half, maybe.
feet.
Yeah.
You got flippers, Sophia?
I have big flippers, big boat feet. Yeah.
The human scuba.
Wait, so
Yeah.
Sophia, what are you rocking? Like a 10?
I am like a 9.5,
9 and a
10.
10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Jay, what do you got?
12.
Okay. 13 and a half to 14.
Damn, dog.
Yeah, no. Yeah, always have been.
Yeah.
It was really rough when I was playing soccer growing up because every season it felt like it was going up, and my dad was like, "Can your feet stop growing? Because this it gets expensive. Cleats are expensive. Ballet shoes and stuff are expensive too. Extracurricular activities are expensive." But Sophia, I wanted to ask you about, since we were talking about this relationship dynamic between the trio. We were
Hmm.
talking about Lermontov and talking about his intentions. I wanted to ask you though, because it's not just about the control, I think, of Lermontov as his, of the company, of her being a ballet dancer. There is also this kind of sinisterly romantic element of it too, of possession behind
Hmm.
him. I mean, like where they're at their all-time success, and I think this is so as clear as day now, as I've seen this multiple times. I think there is something about wanting to control Vicky, but I do think that there is, because she has given him everything, and they have this sort of connection that is, when that moment when after they do the restitution, she just goes, "We're going to go to this country, we're going to go around the world, and we're going to do all this, and we're going to do this together," and they do it together, and it's the most successful season they've ever had. He lets down his guard of this steely exterior sort of, puppet master, and it's like, book me a table, invite her. I want to share this experience and maybe share potentially more. Who knows how that night would have gone? And when he goes to that dinner with the company, and which, by the way, the other dancers and his, like, quote unquote friends poking the knife, poking
Hmm.
the stick at, like, and guess who she's with, boss? And his sort of like non-reaction, and how jealous of a, like, he looks like a jealous lover throughout that whole sequence of getting rid of Julian, being on the train. Like, how dare you be with another man? I'm the one that made you.
But what
There's,
turns him on so much is how good she is at dancing.
I
Yeah,
know.
see, that's my thing with him that's so interesting, and why I also think the casting is so great is because if you look at his earlier work, like from the 30s and the early 40s, and then even some of his later work with Max Ophuls, like he was always known as, I think, being this like dangerously hot,
Oh, he's the
seductive
German
German
hunk.
guy.
Yeah.
That was his whole thing earlier in his career. So I think if you think of that persona here, like that definitely affects at least how I view him as a character, because I think he is so much more romantically compelling than someone like Julian Craster. But I think what's so smart about Walbrook's performance and take on the character is you almost believe that he's not really interested, at least I do, like not really interested in anything romantic at all. Like you can never really see him getting to that point because he's so obsessed with perfection at work. And for him, like exclusivity with Vicky is, yes, right, embracing her for her femininity and her beauty, but so much of it is actually about them being work partners.
It's
It's like you are
attention
my
exclusivity.
muse. You are,
Yeah.
yes, like I don't want you to be with anyone else because it takes me out of the equation on a work level, but also, yeah, that attention exclusivity. Because I think what's so good about that scene at the party that I just every time I'm like, oh, this is the party looks so fun, by the
That looks
way.
so
I want
fun.
to I want to
It's
be
fun.
I
there.
want to eat that cake.
It
Yeah.
looks so fun. But his reaction to that at the party when they're like, well, when he's like, where is she? You know, where is she? He only cares about her. And
I
he's like,
have, it's
well,
been a long
have
time since I've
you
had a meal with my whole family, but I
hmm
see some
I don't
people,
see her,
I
right?
don't
And
see
he's like,
people her missing that
but
I'm missing.
he's like, who else isn't here? Right? Like, who have you noticed who else isn't here? And when it's revealed that they have this romantic connection, I get the feeling from him that is almost just like, one, how could she throw that away for something so stupid? But also, there's this flash that I see in his eyes that is just like, oh, I never would have thought of that before. Like, I never would have thought of like them wasting their time getting together. Like, how could they concern themselves with something romantic?
See,
And then that's right. It's just like, and then
yeah.
further with the
He's
note, with,
literally thinking of it like,
yeah,
why would a power drill fraternize with a hammer? Like that's not what they're for.
yeah, yeah.
They're both going to complete the job. I see what you're saying there. Good job, Jay, with the
Yeah.
power. Did you get
hmm
power tools for like Father's Day or something? Is that where you've been waiting to use that
You know,
metaphor?
I got those power tools on fleek already, my
There you
man.
go, buddy.
Oh,
No,
on
but
fleek.
got
I haven't heard that in a while.
I got I got a whole shed full of
but
power tools I've never
Sophia,
used before.
not to disagree with you, on a movie that we love, but I do think though there is a little bit. You're right. All those things are very true, but I do think there is also an element as well as realizing I was about to let a guard down that I've never let down before, whether it is because of the work that they've done, because of the success that they've made, because he thinks that they have this connection that's different than any other muse or dancer that he's had before. Because they've had such great success, I do think he conflates that a bit. He's wanting to have a dinner with
In the
just
way that he
her.
knows it,
Yeah,
right?
in the
In
way
the way
that
that
he
he
knows it.
can do
I
it.
do think that that's his way of saying, it's not, I'm not saying that like, he wants to have a physical relationship. I think he like genuinely would, if that dinner happens, I think that there becomes like some sort of twisted fucking connection that they have where she's with him forever. That's his muse, and that they are going to tour the world with this and make art, and that is their number one thing. And then it would conflate what he thinks. And that's why I think he's also upset about the idea of that. Wait a minute. I was about to be romantic in this situation. That conflates with everything of my values, but then also she doesn't want to be with me. She wants to be with him. There is that there. There is the fact that she doesn't want to be with Lermontov. She wants to be with
To
this
be with a mediocrity.
composer that would be nothing if I didn't give him this job because he's a sniveling little shit. Like that's in his mind what he thinks of Crasta. He thinks of his as a cog in the machine when he's the machine. And why wouldn't you want to be with the machine? I think that there is a little bit of that. And then his
Meanwhile-
realization of like, I don't want this then. If I can't, and then it becomes if I can't have you and I can't have you in the vision of way that I want, then the world will not have you then if that's the case. If you choose this man over the vision that they set out to have and the sort of verbal contract that they've had, then fuck it all, go have it, and I'll find somebody else. And it'll fit for a while, but at the end, I think Powell and Pressburger are trying to say it fit for a while, for a season, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
And this film being made with this egomaniac at the center of it who believes that he is the true alpha and omega of this work of art is being made by this duo of filmmakers who just like swear up and down that we are the ultimate partnership. There is no true auteur of our work.
Yeah.
And I think that's that. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it by now, but it's sort of misprescribed that Powell is the director and Pressburger is the writer. It was, by all accounts, much more.
It is funny though that like
peanut butter
Pressburger, when you see the opening credits, he has the opening spot there for the writing, right? And then that by the end, it's like, yeah, writing, directing, producing, it's Powell and Pressburger. Like it's everybody.
It's the
You know what I
Archers,
mean?
man.
I know. I love it. Like
there for.
yes,
Yeah.
but no, I think that it's such a fascinating turn. And one could be perceived as it's just like straight up jealousy and for lust, but it's it's a little bit more, I think, complicated with Lermontov
Very much so.
than just your
And it
typical.
also shows you Aronofsky. What a hack!
Oh my
Oh
god!
my
God.
God. Can we spend a couple minutes on this actually? Because
Yeah.
that was my takeaway. So I rewatched Black Swan. It would have been at least a year ago,
I knew
maybe
this was the
2 years
right
ago
crew
at
to
this
bring
point.
this up with.
Oh yeah. And my thought when watching that was just, my God, this is such a shallow thing compared to the Red
It's a copy
Shoes.
of a copy of a
Because
copy of that. It's a
yeah.
copy of this. It's a copy of Three Women.
It's like when it's such a
yeah.
watered down version. You know, when you have like a Gatorade
And when
and you
it
pour like
copies
half of
so
it in a
many of my
cup.
favorite movies. Ugh.
Yeah, and then you
Oh,
put like,
watered down Gatorade.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, right? Where it's like it barely
Mhm.
even has the taste of sugar, and you're like, why am I doing this in the first place? That's what that movie is.
It's also, I think, with that movie, like what's so brilliant about the Red Shoes on a writing level is, I mean, just what we talked about. Like this movie came out in the 40s, and we could talk about this for another, like we could keep talking about this the more we watch it, of just, okay, what does this mean? How do you feel about this? And we can all have different opinions and understandings of it because it's so complex and it's what you bring to it. And it's like they're doing, I think they're making the visuals bold and the themes of the story subtle, which is the best balance. But what Aronofsky does is, oh, did you miss that? Let me beat you on the head with it 10 more times just in case you weren't paying attention to what I was trying to say here.
This is, after all, the man who handed out pages with explicitly stating the themes of Mother when
Right.
critics were screened that film. So this is a man who does not believe in his own instincts.
Well, Jay, I mean, when you remember when we reviewed
I
the
kinda
Red
like
Shoes the first time, we partnered it with Black Swan.
We
on
did.
that
did.
episode.
Right. We did. I forgot
Wow.
about that.
And
Yeah.
I remember telling you at the time, holy shit, that movie doesn't age well, because this thing, if you watch this with this, you're seeing literally an
Yeah.
inferior film. And then they're literally like almost 50 years, 60 years apart.
Mhm.
And everything quote unquote innovative of when you saw it in the theater in, what was that? 2010.
2010,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Because it was like I think it was the 10-year anniversary when we were talking about that. You watch the Red Shoes and you go, that movie is like reading like a pop-up book to reading like a classic novel from
Mhm.
Dostoevsky or Dickens in comparison. You know what I mean? It's like it's not even close, because there is also things that are, I mean, like, yeah, there's a fine performance from Natalie Portman in the film, but
She's good. Yeah.
she's very good, but everything is very superficial and
I don't think that movie
upfront.
is a disaster by
No.
any stretch.
No, but
but
but sadly, if you put it is inspired by this movie. And when you watch that film, you're like, holy
Yeah.
shit, it doesn't even hold even a slight candle to this thing.
No, it doesn't. And we don't have to keep lingering on it. But
No, I think it's one of those movies
Caught
where, like,
Stealing
when I saw it
sucks,
in high
so-
school,
Hot Ceiling was pretty good.
No, it was not. Sophia, want to break the tie here?
haven't seen it.
Okay.
You know what? Maybe I'll watch it on the plane. It
Yeah,
feels like
you
a
got
plane
you got an
movie.
upcoming trip, right? That seems
Yeah.
like
It was passable, is
it
what I thought.
is
Okay.
terrible.
Austin
So I'm
Butler's
hearing
got the goods, man.
plane movie.
Very plain movie. You know what else
Okay.
is a
Yeah.
plain movie?
What?
One battle after another. It's a really good
Listen,
plain movie.
Listen,
Can I tell you also another
We're-
good
we're
another good
hitting like peak watch of that, so I can't. I need a break.
You know
Well,
what
see,
else is
what a plain movie is? It's either a rewatch of something you love or something
Yeah.
new that
Ocean's
you don't think
11.
will be that good. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, Ocean's 11's
That's
the
a plain
best plain
movie.
movie.
That's my go-to movie.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's a good plain movie. I watched that a
It's got
couple.
to be a long flight.
Yeah, when I go from to Toronto, or I've gone to New York, I've watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's great. Ocean's 11's a great one to fly to like LA.
That's
too.
like the perfect length
Yeah.
of a plane movie because you can
Mhm.
also do something else. Like you can like read your book for a little bit. You can get like a little distracted if you need to pause it, do something else. It's perfect.
I gotta
Ocean's
tell you,
11, one of the great, just check in every now and then movies.
Mhm.
we when we went to LA for AFI, myself and my wife, I watched The Red Shoes on the plane.
Oh,
And so
bad plane movie.
wonderful plane movie.
Bad plane movie.
Great for
I feel like
structure.
I would cry a lot.
There's a great
Does this
structure
movie make you cry a lot?
It would on a plane. It wouldn't on the ground.
because of the
But
beauty of
the
it.
beauty
The
of it,
altitude?
the altitude gets me.
I got to tell you,
You'll experience it until
it's
you're
a great
right.
it's a great movie to break up if you want, like you're saying, Sophia, like a nap, because you can watch the first half leading up to the dance, take a little nap, watch the dance, take a little nap, watch the end of the film. It really checks out well. Plus, it's
So
also
bad at sleeping on
but-
planes.
I am too. That's
on a
why
plane.
I had the little breaks. It's like 10-minute naps. It's not even like that long. I can't sleep on planes. Even like the ones when I flew to France last year, I couldn't sleep.
I
And it
gotta
just
I gotta
messed me
get
up.
a real cocktail of sleep miracles to sleep overnight on an international flight like that.
Really?
Mhm.
You were? Was
Yeah.
it rough for you last year when you guys went on your trip?
No, it was tough. The one the year before that when we went to Italy, and I woke up in the middle of the night after whatever my pharmacist wife had put together for me. And I felt like an absolute zombie. I was walking the wrong direction. I was like, it was like, in war movies when there's like the ringing in the ears and it's like you don't have any sense of perspective or point of view or balance. That's how I felt. I felt like I was on the shores of Normandy and Saving Private Ryan.
Trying to find
But
your
all it was too much NyQuil.
trying to find your arm.
It was really crazy.
Okay.
I did
I
not
usually
like it.
take a Benadryl. That's
Yeah.
what I usually will do.
How forward, by the way, is Julian Craster to just get like the job and then on like the second day, just like I'm gonna come and take over the orchestra and have them come in at 9:30 in the fucking morning, and
I mean, honestly, baller
Man.
move.
kind
Yeah.
of a baller move, right?
I really though. I mean,
but
if you
she
think about
couldn't
his,
do that. Only he
No.
could, right?
but think about how they interact at the beginning, how different it is, like him, Craster and Lermontov, and Vicky with Lermontov, because he comes in, he wants that letter back, and Lermontov with his power move is like, "Oh, this one I already opened,"
and
and then he's like,
that little
complaining to-
green gown that looks like
his cool gown.
he looks like he just got out of a sarcophagus. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
he does
He
look
does
like a
look
vampire.
kind of Egyptian.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Like
very, like,
Putting all that sugar on his fruit for
Okay.
breakfast.
is that all he ate was fruit? Like, is
That's
that
all I
like,
ate for breakfast.
yeah, but like a melon, grapes, strawberries, peaches, like shit, man. Like put a protein in there. Put the sugar levels on this man. Got to be crazy.
Yeah,
And then
maybe
he's
that's why
eating
he's so
sugar
irritable.
cubes, like
Yeah.
literally just like a eating only fruit, only a sugar diet is crazy.
But he has one of my favorite lines there, which is, "That's why it is worth remembering that it is more disheartening to have to steal than to be stolen from." His little,
Well,
he has no
you wouldn't know anything
interest.
about that, Sophia. Like
I
no one
wouldn't
ever
know
no
anything
one ever
about
steals
that.
from
No
you.
one's ever stolen any of my writing and published it as their own online.
No one's ever
Um,
done that, and we don't know
mm-mm.
exactly who that is, and we,
It's
It was
flattering.
Ebert.
It's flattering. It was
may,
Ebert, yeah.
May he rest
Yeah.
in peace.
May he
but
rest in peace.
We're calling
But-
you out.
if you think of that interaction, right, like their early meetings are so different, right? Because like when he's meeting with Vicky, like they have that great interaction at the party, which is, I think, then like the most iconic exchange in the whole movie of, "Why do you want to dance?
Oh, it's a little bit of late for apologies, isn't it?
Why do you
know.
want to live? I don't know exactly why, but I must." Like
Yeah, that's
they
good.
understand each other there, and you feel like the beginning of this, beautiful friendship or partnership. And then when she gets there, he does not care who she is. He will not give her any attention.
No.
And it's like a bad situationship. I'm like, this is bad. Like, you poor Vicky, like you think you're going to get this part and you're gonna like try and get attention for once here, but then
it's
he's
so
just
Reynolds
ignoring
Woodcock,
her.
though.
He's not, yeah, it's very Reynolds,
It's
not
very
giving her
Reynolds and
attention,
Alma,
any friendliness, done.
Do you want
She
me
has
to
to
get?
earn it.
Yeah, it's a very like Cyril. Like, are you going to keep her around? You know what I mean? Or do I need to let
Do
her
you
go?
want me to ask Alma to leave?
Yeah,
I mean,
because
look,
I've grown
between
quite fond of her. Oh, you've
the
grown
green
fond
robe,
of her, have you?
he's constantly negging her. Was he a reader of the game? Remember
But
that show, The Pickup Artist?
no. Which
VH1?
show?
Oh, VH1.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Sophia, were you a big VH1 watcher? Did you watch
Listen,
Dude, I
Tila
ate
Tequila
those
and
garbage. Tila Tequila was MTV, my friend.
so
MTV?
my
No, it
my
was
dad
VH1.
I'm
my
pretty sure
dad
that
let
was
us, he
MTV.
loves reality
Maybe
TV,
not.
and he let us watch anything. And my sister and I were like little, and we were watching like Room Raiders and Next and
Oh
like
my
every
God, not
MTV and
Next.
VH1
Next.
show.
Next
Yeah.
Room
was
Raiders
always
are,
Next was always the funniest one because like the guy would come off the bus and then the girl would look at her and she'd go
Yep.
next, and it was like 20
wasn't there one
seconds, not
called
even 20
Parental
seconds.
Control?
Parental Control was one too.
Oh, is
Yep.
that where like
Where there'd just be like a grumpy dad in the living room, like, listen here, buddy.
Uh-huh.
There's no way I'm letting you date my
My
girl
daughter.
with that earring.
Yep.
Or
They
no,
were-
he would be in there with the boyfriend, and then they would be with
That's what
another
it
guy on a
was.
date.
Yeah.
And he'd be
Uh-huh.
like, look at this guy. He's being polite to my daughter for once.
it's
A wild era of
oh wait,
TV.
what was it?
The,
Oh,
the
it
black
was like
light in
they got wait
The
so-
Blacklight and Room Raiders.
Yeah.
no, but like the parental control was like they got to she was like a girl or a guy would date somebody, right? And the parents didn't like them, so they would hook up their child on 3 dates, right? Was that what that
I don't
was?
remember how many dates it was. It,
Like,
it might have just been one.
two
I
or
don't
one or two.
remember how many. I just remember like you're right, Jay. Like it was the parents didn't like who their kid was currently dating.
Yeah.
So they were picking other dates.
I think they
for
got
their
2 and
kids
then
to go
the
on.
regular boyfriend got to go on or girlfriend or whoever in this
Yeah.
situation got to go on a date to show if
Mhm.
like they, and then
I
they
still
had to
love
make
you,
a pick.
babe.
It was always funny when they didn't pick the boyfriend or the girlfriend and they were just like, fine, I didn't want to be with you anyway. And then just run out the door, like
Mhm.
drop kick, and the parents are like, yeah, we just won the lottery because we don't have to deal with this shitty guy or girl for like the next rest
The
of our
most
lives.
embarrassing one that I watched was Rock of Love.
You
Oh,
did
yeah?
not watch Rock of
Brett
Love.
Michaels, baby.
I watched Rock of Love too.
An absolute
No,
classic.
no stone left unturned with me in reality TV from that time.
Flavor of Love.
I watched Flavor of Love.
I Love New York.
watched I Love
New York.
I Love New
her.
York has so many moments that I still think about.
Was it? Oh, was it? My favorite thing with New York was when she was on the Big Brother thing, right? Was she on Big Brother? And
yeah.
the David's Dead thing. When that clip pops up, Sophia, I can't help but watch it and laugh at it and think. Jay, have you ever seen that one? The clip of
She's
David's
a
Dead?
disgrace to women who are actually beautiful and classy. That one?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
seen
there's so many good ones. Oh, anyway, how did we get here?
Anyway, yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I thought the that's way too much sugar, by the way, on that melon. Just gonna
Jersey
go
Shore.
Yes,
out there.
way too much sugar on the melon.
Yeah, I say
Way too much. But yeah,
But-
he knows how to manipulate the two of them very differently, and it's cool, I think, to just see again them on parallel journeys, but then like when they do fall in love, I always have a negative reaction to it, kind of like Lermontov.
I do as well. I'm like,
I don't want this for you.
I think he's well. Julian's doing the classic shitting where where you eat as well, where and but also it's like what this is going to do to Lermontov, dude. Like he's technically in the inner circle because he's a composer now, and I think that it's really funny that like the people he trusts the most always say goodnight to him. And Vicky is the one that says goodnight to him, along with the choreographer and the head composer and his production designer and all these people, right, that work in the company. And Vicky says goodnight to him. Julian is not one of those people that says goodnight to him because he's pulling Vicky away to go to the carriage, and that's how he does. He finds out about her, being out and whatnot. But it's still very funny. It's just like he knows Craster's genius. He's kind of, he wants to see it flourish because I think he's tapping into his potential as well. But he doesn't have him fully yet in the circle either. And then if he was ever going to get into that circle, he's definitely not fucking getting in there now after he's taking away his most prized possession of his, not just himself, but his company. And doing this at what? At the cost of love, and he's this disgust in which he, I think, Jay, you are right. There is this absolute disgust of like, this guy, like this is the guy, like it, but I think it would have been any guy. But
Nosferatu. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, there is a little bit of that, but I don't know. I mean, I think I do think that there is something also like massively. I'm not all the way uncomfortable with it, but there is something like extremely dangerous about what Julian and Vicky are doing, and there is that scene where they have been sort of both. Well, Vicky has left, and Julia's decision and Grisha's quit because he's mad that Vicky's left, and he's mad that they're canceling the ballet that Craster has made from scratch, which could I then assume means that was the ballet that he makes at the end of the film that he doesn't attend, and and he's fine bringing Grisha back because he's like, yeah, I was sorry, my bad, but he's like, no, if they're gonna still be together, then I don't want them both. Like, and he just, the immediacy of throwing them away is absolutely insane. And then, yeah, the other ballerina shows up even after she's married and she's got a life and everything. And how desperate that guy is to show up to like, don't have a meeting. Just let it happen by chance, and he's waiting like a little kid to just like turn around and hear that stupid little dog so that he can get it all back on track just enough. It's so fascinating. But like, yeah, I mean, Crassus turns out to be just as much of an ass as anybody else in this movie.
Yeah,
he's just kind of an idiot.
He is.
I think
he's an
I
opportunist.
don't think he really wants it as much by the end. That's the
His
other thing. Like,
greatest
I don't think
sin-
he's cut out for it.
his greatest sin is being boring
Yeah.
a little bit in this, and that's what Sophia wants in her movie. Man, is just at least be genuine and interesting, if nothing else. You can't be boring.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was saying
boring.
I thought he was
don't
saying
like
that
Gary
you wanted
Cooper.
boring, and I was like,
No.
wait a minute, Jay,
No,
like that's not what she wants.
No, no Gary Cooper allowed. We want
Gary
exciting.
Cooper, maybe the most inexplicable movie star.
We
in
were having this
history.
conversation the other day in a separate chat, Sophia and I
Yeah,
said, Jay, that you think Gary Cooper is the most sauceless actor probably
Just
ever alive.
absolute. The Rizzler, age 9, has more Riz than Gary Cooper ever did.
Yeah, I can't do it. But that's like the whole thing too of even with Craster when he's like when they're having their romantic moment and he's like, I was with Victoria Page, like going on about in his future when he'll be able to talk about being with her. Like the way he's recounting the story, it's like she's not going to be there anyway. It's like it's temporary. It's like, oh, you're going to be this great,
you're going to be dead
moment in my life, or you're going to be dead, and I'm going to be talking about how we were together at one point or another. And I think too, like I always get the impression that like he will have other options. Like if
he's
he
a
wants,
man.
because he's a man, like he'll have other options. He'll be able to continue his career in the way he wants. But what he wants her to do is, at first he acts like she can still dance, but he doesn't really want that for her. And Lermontov doesn't want her to make the choice. He wants to make the choice because he thinks he knows what's better. And that's again that idea of
I think he
like,
kind of does.
what is she allowed to want?
See, yes, and that is the difference between the Hans Christian Andersen story and I think the movie is that in the story she's getting punished by some sort of moral force beyond anyone in the story's control. And in this, I think there is sort of just institutional evil perpetuated by the men in the story that ends up killing her.
Yeah.
Literally.
But
I think so.
what do you think then, Sophia? What do you think Vicky wants?
I don't know if she knows what she
I don't
wants
think the film
sometimes,
lays it
right?
out there either. I think,
No,
and
it's
that's okay if
ambiguous.
I think it
Yeah.
is. I think she,
But I
I
think she
mean,
wants to dance.
I think she
That's
wants to
her.
dance. I think
Yeah.
she loves Julian. I think though, I think ultimately she does in a way want more what Lermontov wants than what Julian
She
wants.
loves the art more than Julian.
Because
Hmm.
she is willing to lie to him and put those shoes back on. A
Yeah.
pl- a piece
That's
of
like a
music.
drug to her. It's that
Yeah.
high. Yeah.
The idea of that
That's the fable.
he's going to pick
Hmm.
his opening night and I can do this play and I'll do my performance. Even though this is the thing that connected them both in the first place. This is when they fell in love because there is that moment. Yes, they had, like I told you, that funny, giddy moment where Lermontov sees them both at each other's throats in the dress rehearsal. But there is that moment when Julian goes into her dressing room the night before or the on the night of the final performance, and he says, "Go at whatever tempo you want, Vicky. I'll conduct around that. Do whatever you want. It's your night. I'm merely playing this music." And he gives up control to her. And it is the one time, that 17-minute sequence is the one time I think when Victoria Page has full control of this
Hmm.
entire of her life and the narrative and of the film. And where everyone isn't manipulating her because they're dancing at her own rhythm and it's at her own tempo. And she gets to show exactly who she really is, which is someone with talent. And then that's where Grisha says, and where is she the next morning? She's not, sleeping in. She's not reading the press clippings. She's literally in practice. She's ready for the next thing. And he says, it wasn't great. It was good. But honestly, it was actually good. And she's going on to the next thing. She is a dancer through and through. That's what she
And that is
wants.
the most romantic thing he has ever said in his entire life.
Yes. Yeah, it is because everything after that point, that man is
I didn't hate it.
1,000. Well, yes, but I think also Julian from that point after that night is as selfish, if not even more, than Lermontov.
Yeah, I mean, the final dilemma, he's basically like, hey, I know you've got this thing tonight.
But you should have been sitting in the
there's
seats waiting
two
your
options
turn.
here. Either you come watch me eat dinner tonight, or we eat breakfast together in the morning. And it's like, I mean, we can,
Yeah.
if you're not going to pay attention to me at dinner, we can kind of do our own thing.
Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, I think though in the dance, like, yes, but there is this also like question of like, I think as a performer, yes, she has control. That's when we really see her come into her own and she's able to dance and she does so perfectly. But at the same time, that fable element, right, or the fairy tale element is that these shoes are controlling her,
Mhm.
right? Like that, and we what we see in the actual sequence that doesn't feel like something that she is controlling. It feels like something that's taking over her. It's like a
Mhm.
possession of sorts, right? And that, like I was saying earlier, like she's seeing the rest of her life play out, like when her dress is covered in like the ash and the soot
Mhm.
in the ballet, or when we're seeing the more romantic side of her and we're seeing Lermontov flash in front of her eyes on the stage, like it's her real life clashing with her art, and it's her having control but also being controlled by the art itself. And it's just like when Lermontov is describing the red shoes to her earlier, and or to the composer, but when he says something like talking about how these shoes, like she puts on the shoes, they dance her, into the streets and over the mountains, and I'm paraphrasing, but he ends it by saying, time rushes by, love rushes by, life rushes by, but the red shoes dance on. And then Craster is saying like, and what happens at the end? And he's like, oh, in the end, she dies.
Yeah.
Just like very matter of factly. But this idea that like if she chooses to dance,
Mhm.
if she puts on these red shoes, everything is going to pass her by.
Yeah.
Everything will be gone. Life, love, it's just going to rush by her, but she'll have these shoes. And it's almost like it's almost a paradox in a way. It's
That
really
is
tricky.
that is what is so brilliant about the adaptation is you have the actual source in the middle of the film. And meanwhile, the rest of the story sort of acts as a metaphor for that original fairy tale in a contemporary context, in something quasi resembling our real world. It's
brilliant.
Pressburger was obsessed with this story for a long time. This was long in development, and
it's a masterstroke of adaptation.
Got shaped up over time.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're absolutely right, Jay. It's everything you see in that 17-minute montage mirrors what we are leading up to, and then
let's talk about the
tragedy
montage
at the end. I mean, we got to talk about it. I think it's a perfect topic.
In depth.
Yeah.
We got a couple hours.
Yeah. I mean, I started to talk about it a little bit of just like what she sees and how it really foreshadows, I think, what so much of what ends up happening with her and what really befalls her in the end. But I think what is so stunning about it is just it really is just how it looks. Like, it does not look like anything. I can't even imagine seeing this in 1948, what it must have felt like. There was just nothing like this at the time that existed in that way.
It's a great example of put yourself back in those shoes, but you don't have to, because even now it's still.
Well, if you were a film critic at the time, your impression seemed to have been,
Yeah. Like, oh, what is this?
Oh, okay.
That was a little much.
Yeah, that seems over the top, which is ridiculous. Because it's I mean, it's unlike anything they've done before. I mean,
The movie halts.
Well, the movie does what, and my wife and I had this conversation by the end of it. It's like, there's a lot of movies about art or about an art form or a concert or, a play or musical or a ballet or whatever. And it's all, a lot of them are behind the scenes stuff, but the ones that actually like commit to actually showing half of the shit or even just showing what they're building up to. Sophia, you mentioned it perfectly. All That Jazz is a film that shows you those sequences there, but then incorporates other sequences around the film. And then in the ending is this last giant statement before literally the end. And this film also is leading you up to that they are making this masterpiece that also is a one time kind of only thing, because when the radio is playing in Vicky's room at the end of the film, the news broadcaster is stating that they are performing the Red Shoes for the first time there, and it was the sensation in Italy, and no one has seen it since. And like Lermontov says, no one has danced the Red Shoes because it is her musical. Or her ballet. It's her performance. It's her show. It's only can be done through her. That's the only way he can see it.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I think that is very much purposeful, but then there's also this. As an audience, for Lermontov, I think that's extremely personal and also manipulative, but also like kind of weirdly romantic in his own right, of being like, nobody can ever top this because you are the most perfect thing for this. But obviously, I want to milk every dollar and cent out of you possible.
And
but then you see it and you go, well, yeah, of course nobody can do this because.
But it's
what
not
she's
about
doing
the technical elements of it.
No, it's how
I don't know what the hell to say about ballet, but they could, by completely deliteralizing it and making it entirely impressionistic about the feeling that it evokes.
Yes, it's all about the feeling.
It feels so powerful. Yeah,
that's
I'm not
why
gonna
nobody
sit here and say, well, her point was out of control. That was incredible.
No,
Well,
I
yeah.
totally agree with you, Jay.
Of just the elation that sequence.
I don't think she's the most technically brilliant dancer, but
I don't know if she isn't.
But I think he's seen. But I think he's seen dozens and dozens of girls perform Swan Lake, and he had an emotional reaction to the way that she performed that same piece that he's seen probably every single other girl that's been his muse up on that stage. And there was something emotionally connecting that he had. And if he can have that, he knows a mass audience can have that as well. And I think that that's what you see in the performance,
What is the
honestly.
point of view of the performance?
Well, I think what I feel like why the performance is so important is because we have to understand how she feels
That's what I
about
think is the most
this piece of
important.
art
Yeah.
and why she feels the need to keep dancing. And it isn't just right her own like personal high that she's getting from it. It's also this idea that the fact that the red shoes is, this one night thing and it's made for her, it's also connecting that trio of Lermontov, Vicky, and Craster. It's fating them. Like it's like they were fated to do this. Like it's this kind of magical, dark and twisted thing that they have to do, and you have to kind of feel that part of it too. And so the point of view, I have always interpreted it as like that is how she is feeling as she's
Hmm.
dancing. And the cool part about that too is that like I've never once thought like, oh, what's the audience actually seeing? Or like how does this literally look? Like I've never that doesn't
Yeah. Out the
bother
window.
me, or I don't think about that, right? It's just how she's envisioning this and what it means to her.
It's the tree of life creation sequence. Like that's what this is for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. And those are maybe the two best scenes in the history of the moving image, in this humble man's opinion. But it is, I mean, the way that it changes setting, just from the very beginning, this massive set with this like piercing blue sky, it's immediately
Mhm.
so evocative. The incredible cut to the shoes being tied up. It isn't clean. You can obviously tell exactly what is happening from a quote unquote movie magic standpoint, but it doesn't matter. It is that sense of surreality that makes it so emotionally powerful, and how artificial it so often feels. It's so funny. This film, sort of over the course of the making of the film, they shifted production designers. The art direction was completely moved to
Mm.
move from a more what they called sort of mathematical engineering perspective of uh, creating the world of a film to a painterly approach to the film, which you entirely see in this sequence. It is one of the most. It gives the same feeling. We talked about Vertigo a little bit. It gives you the sensation you have with the Dolly sequence, but it hasn't aged a day.
Hmm.
The Dolly
Yeah.
sequence has.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It just has maintained its power. It is as powerful now as it was the day that the movie was released, and that's special.
Yeah. I mean, from the opening part of, when Julian's doing the overture to then the way Powell and Pressburger move that camera in and the audience doesn't matter anymore. It isn't about at that point then seeing a bird's eye view from the spectators. It's not about the audience. It's about her perspective. It's about the feeling she
Yeah,
has. It's
that
about her
reminded me of Stop
connection.
Making Sense.
It did. I would, you know
Mm.
what? You're not wrong. It reminded me a
Hmm.
little bit of Demi there in that sense of just that the only
Complete.
thing that matters here is the performance and
It's about the way that performing makes you feel.
yes, the
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
the vibes and the connection that she's making with the material. It's again, that's why why Julian, it is absolutely romantic, but it's honestly true. Like as Julian sees it through the lines on the page. He doesn't see it as a performer. And so not knowing that, like, yes, in your mind, sure, like it's the tempo's right. Sure, the tempo's right. But can a fucking human actually do that? Can they actually move their body like this to this tempo? No, they can't. So you have to bend it to the performer. And maybe it's and leave. And so when he says, I'll go to your tempo, I'll do what you are free and willing to do, when she's so nervous at the beginning of it, and Lermontov's like, you don't need to be. Like you know your steps, or you know when you're supposed to enter, you know all this. You know what I mean? It's just because it's her first ever giant performance and she's built up to this, but she's had it inside of her all the time. It goes back to, like you're saying, Sophia, the party of like, well, why would you want to live? This is what she's lived for. This is all the prep going from the bottom to the top to being in this moment. And then we see her, and yeah, it's not about technique. This isn't like figure skating at or gymnastics at the Olympics where I don't understand the scoring. It is about feeling. And I think a lot of that's probably the modern context for this. It's like I think a lot of that scoring just becomes off of feeling. It comes off of the energy that the performance is giving. It comes also definitely on technique points, but the final score is about the emotion and
You
how
can
they
totally
execute
see the difference.
and then this, she's fully encompassed by the end, and then that's when this ethereal sort of trans this the filmmaking gets to take over because even yes, like the sequence with the shoes, that's also something that I think also when you go to live theater and you see it there, that you are imagining if this was sped up, if this was in the world that it is trying to inhabit on screen, things would happen there if this is magical or unrealistic than just the norm. These would happen, and so they get to create that magic. That yes, we're not going to say like, oh, because probably in real time somebody just slid the shoes on her and she and tied them on, or some sort of weird thing. But in our minds and in her mind and in the
I know
company's
just a
mind,
cut from her out of the shoes to her in the shoes.
exactly, she
Pretty
probably doesn't
straightforward.
even know. But she knows that now that they're on, and it is this non-stop sequence where she can't stop. There's really no break for her. And
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think I
you're
read in the
brilliant.
BFI book. There was like, there's no reason for her to not be in the shoes at the beginning of the scene from like a literal standpoint, but
Yeah.
it's a more interesting image.
Well,
It is
it's
one of the best images in the
It's
one of the
movie.
greatest images in
shot of the
cinema.
movie.
Yeah.
It's maybe one of the greatest images,
Yeah.
probably the greatest image ever.
I
Like
think they
just her running up to it, and then they snap on, and then bam, she's in, and we're on a ride for that.
What's important also is that we don't see the audience here. Like that is so crucial. Like we're not thinking of the audience. We don't see the audience. And so what Powell and Pressburger can do there is allow reality and this fantasy and horror to all mix together. And for us to just get this, I don't know, otherworldly kind of idea of what she's about to crash into. And what's interesting to me always too is that, Maura Shearer, who plays Vicky, she was a dancer. This was her first film role, and
They
Crazy.
wanted a dancer first. Yeah.
she ended up going on to get married and have a family.
Yes, she did.
She's a very striking looking person.
Perfect for Technicolor.
Very
The
much
hair.
so.
Yeah.
hmm
The
And even as we see her in the blue, that outfit I mentioned earlier, which is just my favorite with the cape and the crown.
walking up those
When we
hot
see her
steps.
looking at those stairs, when she looks up, that's when there's a little bit of fantasy here too. Because it's like that's the fairy tale image before we even get to the dance of, oh, like she's walking into another world. Yes, literally in her career, but also like it feels like she's venturing to a place maybe where she shouldn't go. Or
Felt
again,
like-
it's like this fated thing that she has to do.
Felt like Alice going down the rabbit hole.
The interesting sort of difference between the fairy tale and the film is that she clearly comes from a pretty high class background.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the fairy tale is, somebody on the street basically
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
who gets the shoes put on her, which I think is an interesting angle to explore.
I think it's an interesting angle that even if she comes from a place of power, even with all of her talent,
because
the
it's not coming
men-
from a place of material desperation.
no, but she's
Right.
also not using
Different kind of desire.
She uses
Yeah.
her influence to get in from her aunt, but she still has to prove herself. Because Lermontov, it doesn't. I'm sure he's had
For him,
dozens.
it doesn't matter.
And well, yeah, him it doesn't matter. There could be. I mean, there's 6, 7. I mean, like when Grisha's like,
6,
you
7?
can go over there. No, God damn it, don't do it. Go over there with the other girls and just wait while the rest of us, who are supposed to be here, basically, it's like a backhanded compliment. Like while the rest of us actually do work, and she has to build her way up there. And there is, a little bit of like her connections, like that guy he goes and has lunch with, and he sort of notices it. But then it's again that shot of him in the crowd watching in that little, like it's such a small playhouse where, as opposed to the theater that, is playing Heart of Fire at the beginning of the film. And he's sitting in there and he is glued to her. He is how then the camera is during the 17-minute sequence. Like that is actually, I think, how that's where imagination really gets to shine. That's really when it's that thing of like, Jay, when you saw Book of Mormon, right? Because you saw Book of Mormon last year,
Yeah.
right? Okay, and I'm not saying the same thing, so don't be sarcastic and try to. But
I'm
just
not
go with me.
I'm not the Broadway guy.
I know,
here,
I know,
but,
I know.
yeah.
But just hear me out. But Sophia, you've seen a ton of things on stage and whatnot too.
Oh yeah.
There is this moment where you have to suspend disbelief of that and try to buy into the story that you're seeing, because if you just take this as face value, you're like, well, this is all, it's
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
I'm not in that story, what, in Africa, or I'm not in, if you're watching Hamilton in a revolutionary world, or I'm not in Oz if you're watching Wicked, or you're not in, all the different places. So your mind has to also do this thing of, when you're watching a live performance, especially one of ballet or in musical theater in general, you have to kind of create the world that you're seeing there. At least in my head, that's what it's
See,
always done.
I look at
You've
it
never had
differently.
that?
I just think I think this is.
What are you looking at, all the
the
pulley systems?
No, I'm just looking at well, in this movie, if you're talking about the big ballet sequence, this for me is like in Sinners when they have the music sequence. Like that's what this is for me. It is taking you out of the movie that you were watching and taking you into something completely different.
Well, you're not a musical theater person, but Sophia, I think what I'm trying to get at is that I think Powell and Pressburger are trying to evoke that feeling with the camera also in this moment of what it is like to be an
Yeah.
audience member. And I think that if you have that
I
emotional
think it is
connection
trying
with
to
things,
literally like block out the audience member.
no, I think,
Yeah.
but I think there's,
He doesn't
I
really
think,
care about the audience. Like,
no,
I
it
mean, not the
doesn't care
audience,
about,
the literal audience there at
no,
least.
but
Right.
I think it's trying to evoke that feeling
I think
that
it's about
one
evoking the
has.
feeling of the person performing the art rather than the person
Yeah,
watching the
Yeah,
but
'cause
when you're watching it as an audience member, when I watch performances, I get so enraptured with the performances that are on stage and buying into story and buying into every aspect that's there, that I suspend my disbelief that, oh, I'm not watching some fucking stage performance that's at my local theater. I'm watching, the goal is to feel like you're in this world, that you're in this story. And
Sure.
for a film, it's much easier to do that than it is on stage. There's a massive amount of suspension of disbelief.
Absolutely.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that
But
that's what they're trying to evoke a little bit here, while also push the form in a way that is still cinematic. Like there's this, and therefore I think that you're trying to, at least when I've done it, I felt the effects of that performance from the said performer. And that's what I also think they're trying to do with Shire's performance here too. And what you're trying to feel for Vicky in this moment too, is that she's connected with this material in a completely, you know, out of the world experience sort of way, where she is the red shoes then at this point. She is this performance. And I think with the camera, what they're doing is trying to give you that feeling that she has there. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes, it's from her perspective. I think
Yes.
this is an attempt to completely disregard the audience. You're a member of the audience. You're never going to forget that you are the audience.
Yeah.
And the magic of this sequence is that it makes you forget.
Yeah, it casts all
you
them
are
out.
watching a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let alone
And
a
I
play.
think what's cool about that too is, and it's the one night thing, it's what theater actors talk about, it's what athletes talk about, of like, if you are doing something live, like that is the only time that people will ever see that exact version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's something that is so different about that than cinema, which is, documented, and we can revisit the exact
Over and
version
over
that
again.
someone's seeing,
Yeah.
that someone saw, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And that is like, both are powerful, but they're so different too. So too, for Powell and Pressburger, to focus on her point of view and how she's feeling, I think actually connects so well with this like eternal audience experience that you would get from what they're doing with the camera and creating this as something that's cinematic while still giving us the feeling. I agree, like disregard the audience, disregard the feelings of the people in that room and just focus on like this is what she feels as a performer, like being like the like what would it feel like for like what did it feel like for Michael Phelps to win his gold medals? Like what does it feel like for an actor on stage?
Peak performance.
Yeah, what does that feel like?
Yeah.
Not what do I feel when I see them touch the wall at the
Yeah,
end, right?
I don't
It's a
care.
totally different thing.
No,
But also,
No,
I mean,
it's
that
so cool.
there's math to that at least,
Yeah.
though, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, no, I mean, there is
But there's a euphoria. I think there's something we don't
Yeah.
see, and
There
so
is
they're
a
trying to show
memorization
us.
to this.
They want
Yeah.
us. They want us to see that what
To-
that they envision it feeling.
But I mean, if
like.
you're Michael Phelps, you're trying to touch the wall faster than the guy next to you.
But
Here, you're-
but those longer events are different too. Like there is also like when they ask Katie Ledecky, like this must be like mundane to do this over and over
she's still
again.
trying to
But
touch
like,
the wall
what's he?
before the other
What
person. But I
he
know what
is.
you're
But
saying.
what's
There
he
is- it
thinking
is-
about? In the
yeah.
same way that she has to get from
Yeah.
point A to point
No,
B
that
to
is
be on
true
the
from
stage.
that
Yeah.
perspective. But I
Yeah.
do love thinking about. There's that wonderful essay from David Foster Wallace about Roger Federer, which is, I think one of as a sports guy and an arts guy, I'm like it's the ultimate culmination for me. Apologies for a 30-something-year-old white guy bringing up David Foster Wallace, but it is a great work, and that collision of
Jane is Julian
sport
Craster moment
as
right now.
art is like it's beautiful when you kind of think about just the physical form and the way that our bodies can bend and contort and express as an art as art. It's beautiful, and that's what this is. And I'm not going to sit here and be like try to claim that I understand how great this woman is at dancing, but I know how it makes me feel.
No, and I think
And,
that, I
and
think
even
that
even
that's
when
the
you talk
point.
about tennis players, like I know how watching Roger Federer play tennis made me feel, and it made me feel better than when I watched the guys who technically won more tournaments than he did. It was just a different thing.
Not many though.
Not many. I mean, watching Roger Federer to me was like a religious experience. That guy was incredible.
No, I mean
it was such a romantic way of playing an objective thing. It was very cool.
Sophia, were you a Federer?
I'm a
fan?
Rafa girl,
Yeah,
but I
same.
love Federer too.
I love Rafa.
Yeah.
Federer's my
I
guy.
grew up because I was such a Rafa guy. I grew up kind of like Federer, but as he got older and it's sort of the end of the career, I really sort of admired Federer, and I fucking hate Djokovic.
You want to hear something? You want to hear this?
The worst.
This is me bearing my soul on this podcast. Black Friday. I need some shoes.
Did you go get the On Clouds?
I tried to get some Roger on clouds, but I was like, you know what? I'm feeling a little frisky. I'm gonna get the high top on clouds, the high
Okay.
top Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
They get sent in. I put them on my feet, show them to my wife. The words that came out of her mouth: "You are not cool enough to pull those off."
I love her.
Jay, can I be honest with you? I have a pair, and
That's so funny.
and I wear them, and polar opposite. My wife thinks that I actually can rock them. So,
That was the most humbling
man,
day of my life.
did they go back in the box after that?
They
point?
were returned. They are back at On Clouds HQ.
You did not have a red shoes experience.
No,
Gotta tell you,
I almost jumped off a bridge though.
gotta tell you, they are the most comfortable shoes on the goddamn planet. I swear to God. And I know that's shocking to say, but they really are. They really are.
It's like walking on clouds.
They are walking. Yeah, they're like on clouds. Jay,
I don't have a pair.
is that because you think you're too cool for them?
It's a choice, yeah.
Why?
I think that's a fair choice. On clouds are very lame.
They're tourist shoes here.
They're it's so cool
New
that
York.
Sophia lives in New York. Sophia's so much cooler than us too.
They're tourists.
It's like crazy. Imagine living in like the cultural hub.
Yeah,
of
but ask
America.
her if
Would
she
be
has
awesome.
enough wall space. to
I
all
live,
stuff.
well, that's fair. I live in the strip club capital of the Southeast.
Home of Coca-Cola,
So,
Chick-fil-A.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love eating my
And
problematic chicken.
I was gonna say, yeah, or as Megan, my wife, calls it, homophobic chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have one at the office. They
is
have a
so good,
Chick-fil-A,
though.
and it's so good. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
is good.
Eric. I'm
It's yummy.
sorry. The little chicken minis in the morning.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
What are you gonna do? It's got one of the superior sauces in Chick-fil-A sauce.
Waffle
too.
House.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I love Waffle House.
Yeah?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay. Next time I come down there, I gotta go to a Waffle House with you because they don't have them in Texas
You
anymore.
never been to Oahu?
No, I've been to them. They don't have them here anymore.
Mm.
They got rid of them. It was yeah. I
They
mean,
just
like,
put this slice of American cheese on your hash browns.
and they yeah, but it's good.
It is good.
It's like putting a slap of American cheese on apple pie. Like in
Oh, Taxi Driver.
Yeah, Taxi Driver.
The Red Shoes does have a history on Broadway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. Let me sort through my abundant
See, like
notes here.
this is something I just like I don't think I could
See on the stage.
see anywhere else.
No, because
The
I mean, like,
Bijou Theater.
I mean, I do get
I love
it.
a bijou drink.
It ran for 110 weeks there. The movie.
Oh.
Oh, the movie. Wow.
The longest that any movie ever played there.
Good for him.
And Shearer cemented her feet there. And for a long time, there was a prize if someone could come up and like Cinderella their feet in her cement feet.
Oh, that's
That's
kinda
cool.
And then
Sophia,
it got,
I don't think you could do that.
torn
It
down.
I don't
like
think
she
I could
has-
do it, no.
Yeah.
I'd be like one of the stepsisters just trying to jam my foot in there.
Yeah, Sophia's got like Shaq feet.
Yeah,
Um,
I do.
well, that's what we always say about Sophia here at AwardsWatch. We call her the Shaquille O'Neal of contributors and editors.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's Jay. Who would you be of the TNT crew? Would you be Charles since you're Auburn, or would you be more like Kenny Smith?
I mean, I would like to think I'm Charles. I've had an extended conversation with Charles Barkley before. He's a very nice guy.
Seems like a very nice guy.
He loves to, when at Auburn football
He
games,
just has a whole court, doesn't he?
he has a just corner of the Auburn University Hotel where he just posts up and just lets people just come up to him and talk to him for as long as they want. He is the man.
I love Charles. It's the best. They have the best basketball show ever, or maybe the best show ever. Period.
It's the best. It's gotten worse since it's been on ESPN. But
I still think it's okay. It's still
you
better
know
than
that
most. Are you talking? Oh, what?
you know that song? I think it's technically a Boz Lerman song. Like "Always Wear Sunscreen." Is that what it's called?
Oh,
What Boz Lerman song?
Yeah,
What the hell are you talking about?
yeah.
Sophia knows what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
God damn
it's like everybody's free to wear sunscreen.
Yes.
Did he sing
Or,
this?
Something like that. It's
Yeah.
it's like a techno beat, and then it's like life advice over it.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
like a Daft Punk song that's like
But
the
there
fourth
is-
track on the album. Okay.
But I actually enjoy it. I always have. But
Okay.
there's one where it's like everyone should live in New York or LA for 3 years, and I think he's probably right.
well, I
It's
would
fun.
pick.
I wish I had done that.
I would pick New York because no to LA. I mean,
I like LA for short trips, but you always have to have a destination. There's no
Yeah.
wandering.
well, you got to have a
You have
lot
to
of
get in
money
the
for
car.
Ubers.
It
You
just
get
seems
Ubers
like
out there expensive.
New York would be my choice as well, just because it's like it feels like you can stumble into an amazing night in New York in a
There's
way
a
that
bar on
in,
my street
in a
called
way
the
that
Stumble Inn.
the only other place you can do that, or I've experienced something like that, is in
I like the
Europe,
PTA song
because
like in,
Europe
Licorice Pizza,
is
stumbling in.
Europe is a place where you just kind of are like, I'm gonna walk out my door and figure out where I'm gonna go.
New York is a very
I know where I'm going,
It's
though.
a very European city.
Yeah, it's the
in
most
that way.
European city
Mhm.
in America of its size.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Yeah,
And
It's the
you
best.
can go into a little bar, or you can go into like a great restaurant, or you can go
I just
into a
remember
place
going
you literally
to-
want to be gone in 5 seconds. Like there's
I remember
It's
going
great.
to Florence to Italy, and we went to Florence, and
Mhm.
I was like, I could live here tomorrow.
I
Right,
love
it-
Florence. Yeah.
It's walkable. It's the perfect size, I think, for a walkable city.
It's so much. I prefer it so much to Rome. Like
Agreed.
I'd rather go to Florence.
I went to Venice, Florence, and Rome, and Florence was, I think, the runaway winner for me.
Mhm.
yeah. What about the wife?
Mhm.
Same for her.
Okay.
Venice is, it's kind of touristy.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense also, which is what's cool about it is they're spending tens of millions of dollars every year to keep that thing from going underwater. And then Rome is just kind of like a big city.
Yeah. Just a big
Sort of.
city. All right. Well, there you go.
Florence was beautiful. It's like, oh, look, Raphael made that.
Yeah, it's stunning.
He's my favorite Ninja Turtle.
I was going to say he's a Ninja Turtle. There you go. Is there anything else you guys want to say about the red shoes? I know we talked about a lot, but I feel like we also have barely scratched the surface even as well.
Perfect movie.
It's a perfect movie.
Yeah.
Is that it? That's all you guys want to say?
Imagine a perfect movie being your fourth best.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, I feel like we've covered a lot of it. I feel like we've really gone through quite a bit. I mean, I think that it really is. It's hard to talk about. Like,
it
I feel
actually
like
sort of is because it's about how you
Yeah.
feel watching it.
it's so much of it is like an emotive
I think
thing.
that's
Like, I'm glad
17
we talked a lot about the ballet sequence, but also the relationship between the three of them. I think that's really important. But so much of it is just like
Well,
how you feel.
can I ask you guys though about the ending
Hmm.
of the film?
Mhm.
And I mean, obviously she jumps and everything. Lermontov's decision to continue and do it with the light,
The
as if
spotlight.
Hmm.
as if once again still to say that no one can perform this other than Vicky, and how there's like this that final shot of seeing him and he looks very sick, watching this. He's not satisfied at all. But then the train sequence, which is a bit ridiculous. Like she would have been run over by that train. She would not have said take the red shoes off. She's like dead, unless the
That's
shoes
very
are
1940s.
Yeah, very 1940s.
I love the 1940s drama of it.
Yeah.
Like even how dramatic Lermontov is in the Miss Page is unable to dance tonight, nor indeed any other night.
Any
Night.
other night.
So tonight we will send the red shoes, and
It's
like
so
it's-
dramatic.
It's
Yeah.
so much, but it's
Take
also
off
very.
the red shoes.
But also, there is a little bit of like me thinking like, and I know this is maybe you guys think I'm crazy, but it's also like the red shoes are the only thing keeping her alive at that point because I think the minute he takes them off, she dies. Like there's just kind of like in the musical as well, in the production, not the musical, in the ballet, but to give her relief of the pain that these two men have caused her.
There's the idea of red in general representing pain
Yeah.
in the whole movie.
So the doctor just being
yeah.
like,
And that
there's
Technicolor.
nothing I can do here. You know what I mean?
they make
Yeah.
that red Technicolor blood looks like glitter.
It's I really do love it. Like it's just something you don't see anymore
I think
at all.
the best of Powell and Pressburger Technicolor is maybe the most I like looking at a movie.
I
Yeah.
think me too. Me too.
It's
Yeah.
I think
beautiful.
that's why I love their movies so much. Like it's
Yeah.
that, and it's what I feel when I watch Vertigo too. But you're
Mhm.
so right about the dolly, like in Vertigo, where you just that's aged, and you have to
Yeah.
put yourself in that time in that
You
way.
don't
But here
have
you
to do
don't.
that nearly as much with
Right.
the ballet sequence,
Can I
Mhm.
rattle
which
off?
is just as bravura.
Yeah.
Can
even
I
in
rattle?
its time.
Can I rattle off a couple of moments that I just love in the film?
Hmm.
I love when Crasta has he's about to go and literally conduct the red shoes, and this guy the senior conductor there is just basically like snapping him into place and telling him like it's a damn good score. Like I wish I had done it. You know what I mean? Like you go out there and basically giving them the pump up speech. I love Lermontov the day after she performs. Him on the sort of him on the phone. There's 15 things going on back and forth. That whole sequence is such a fine, delicate act there of acting. I love when he's upset in his little red outfit.
He looks like a
Opens it.
vampire.
He looks like a vampire, and then the lawyer, who is all, which I mean, talk about bloodsuckers, lawyers, literally comes and sees the mirror and gives him like that facial reaction of like, Okay. Looks like you had a night here. Anyway, are you sure you want to go through this? The train car literally being the exact train car it looks like from before. Just time passing. Again, I love when he just is going to this fashion show just so that he can, and once he hears the little dog, he's back in. I love just everything about this movie. Every little inch of it is
So perfect.
is perfect. I love that night when Julian and Vicky have gotten their confirmations that she's going to be the dancer and he's going to be the composer, and that one shot that clearly is like different from the archival, or from them being on location. It's clearly matte painting in the back and it's on a set, and it's again this blending of like what is real and what isn't real throughout this film in general too. I just love their attention to detail throughout it. It's and I have to say, Anton Warburg, his performance here, I cannot speak enough about how much his performance as Lermontov is wonderful. I was thinking a lot about, and I'm going to say this name, and Sophia's going to go absolutely. I was thinking a lot about Daniel Day-Lewis a lot when I was watching this movie.
Yes.
And I was thinking a lot about Age of Innocence, especially in the opening, those first 5 minutes of his interest in how you don't see him, and yet, the using of the binoculars and the way that they speak there, and then those opening scenes in a way Scorsese, who is a massive fan of this movie.
Love listening to Scorsese talk about this movie.
This is
just one of the best things.
If there's anything in this world that's better than listening or seeing a Martin Scorsese movie, it's hearing him talk about this movie specifically. The man owns a literal pair of the red shoes, and let them.
I'm talking about it in relation to Raging Bull. It's
insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Like, don't care about sports.
But he does that thing too, where it's like the crowd and the noise.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
LaMotta is in it was, and I'm not saying this is a good movie. I'm not talking about Raging Bull either, but like how Raimi kind of uses that movie For Love of the Game, the terrible Kevin Costner baseball movie.
Yeah.
But how he is able to kind of
talk
showcase.
about a bad movie.
Well, just hear me out, you jerk. Is that how he uses that mechanism of like
engage the mechanism, whatever.
Engage the mechanism, and how he's able to pitchers have talked about it, and I read this is like
I was a pitcher for a large portion of my
how
life.
you have to how you have to zone out everything that's around you in order to focus on getting the ball to its destination. There's
you know what my high school coach nicknamed me as a pitcher?
Oh God, I'm afraid to ask, but sure. Jay, what did your high school pitcher and coach name you?
Serial killer.
Oh my God.
That is actually true. Because I was completely emotionless when I pitched.
That's good. That's a good way to be.
If only your name was Henry. My God.
I was locked in.
Jay, I
engaged the mechanism.
How fast could you throw?
I got up to like 86, 87.
Oh wow.
That was where I topped out.
On the was it fastball?
That was my changeup. My fastball was 103. No, I was 86, 87 with my fastball. I tore my rotator cuff though.
Yeah. Oh. Sophia, softball? Or no?
I didn't play softball long enough.
Men's baseball as well.
Men's baseball. No, I didn't.
92 miles an hour, Ryan.
Because my spring sport, I did club volleyball. So I did like volleyball, swimming. Alternated seasons. Yeah.
With those flippers.
With my flipper feet.
The flipper feet. Yeah. There you go. And the giant mitts for hands.
And my long arms.
There you go.
It appears Sophia is now on WikiFeet. Unfortunate.
It seems that Sophia is Victor Wembanyama. What is it? And anyway,
don't tell Tarantino.
Don't tell. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you'll be like awardswatch.com.
Anyway, I love that we've kind of been going back and forth on sports and art now because in Raging Bull it's like sports as art, and here it's sort of like art as sports.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, it
cool.
reminds me of you
Bloodsport.
should look it up if you
Yeah.
haven't. There's
Literally.
a really great conversation between Fran Lebowitz and Spike Lee about sports.
Oh, I
She
think I've
hates
seen this.
sports, he
Yeah.
loves sports, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just like fighting about it, and it's great. It's
That
just
sounds
like
pretty
because
awesome.
he's explaining just like this whole thing we've been talking about a little bit about like the live aspect and not knowing the outcome and
There's a
how
Yeah.
pageantry to it. There's some,
yeah,
there's expression.
it's a
Some of the greatest
specific
stories of all
feeling.
time have come out of sports.
I
Yeah, because
mean,
you can't write them.
no,
So
you can't.
it's a different thing. But I recommend it if you haven't watched it. It's good.
Listen, I got to tell you, I did, when the Olympic men won the gold, and I had no idea about
In hockey,
in hockey.
I assume. Yeah.
Yes. And
How can you not be romantic about hockey?
I mean, there was the story, and like, listen, I know that they fucking
Everything going on in the world. We're doing absolutely awful. We live in hell. He scored that goal. I wanted to go put on a pair of red, white, and blue underpants. I was so pumped.
you mean like the Will Ferrell sketch?
Yes.
Oh, okay. But yeah, and I know that like they went to the State of the Union, and some of them hung out with Cambridge Patel.
Oh
I
yeah,
get all
just
that
horrible looks
horrible shit, like really
across the
horrible
board
shit.
afterwards.
But you know what? There was also that moment where they took the jersey of the guy that died that they thought was most likely going to be on the team.
Yeah, that was crazy. He died in a drunk driving accident.
Yeah, somebody hit him
Yeah.
and his brother in a drunk drive, and like they were cycling and the car hit him.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And they brought his kids out on the ice and took photos with their kids, and their kids are like 2 and 3 years old. And I just sat there and I'm like, yeah, these guys probably have like terrible politics, but like that's a genuinely like beautiful moment that you don't see anywhere else. And then
I'm
it's just
telling
like,
you, I was about to do the Pledge of Allegiance in my living room. Man.
I mean, like Sophia, you mentioned her, the free skater,
That
the
was
one
how I felt when Alyssa Liu won.
when she won,
Yeah, I
her
cried.
comeback story.
We all watched it at work, and it was
It's
just like
it's
it was
incredible.
Let's not get
beautiful.
ahead of my weekly recommendation, please.
I mean,
Okay.
but like there's I mean that's the thing about the Olympics, and what's so great about, like, I love Mike Tirico. I think he's just like a great commentator and everything. And Jay, to your point earlier in the series, it's like you gotta have some great stories here, and there's always a great story in a now and then, or like the comeback story, or like the underdog, or whatever the case may be. And yeah, story. I think sports are necessary, and I also think sports are political, and they, and you should express that there, and I don't think you should shut it off. So,
Just glad Cash Patel had a good time.
well, Jay, you paid for that.
The red shoes.
We all did, man.
Sophia's like, Ryan, don't do that. Don't bring it up. But yes, The Red Shoes, an incredible film. We love
being
it.
sarcastic about contemporary politics is so hard.
Yeah. Especially
That's
when
why I
Josh,
get- that's why I
especially
get
when
bullied.
Josh is on and and talking to you in general about it.
I'm treated poorly in general by this collection of individuals at AwardsWatch.
I think we treat you just about right, buddy. Anyway,
If that's true, then I hate to see how you treat other people.
fair point. I love you through and through. Even though I'm sure by the end of this episode, you're not going to listen to something that I've said and just completely ignored it. But you've done a good job tonight.
I have actually been pretty attentive today.
Yeah, I think it's Sophia. I think Sophia.
I'm fading.
He's. I know you're fading, but like he's done it on multiple episodes this year where I said something and then he's just like, I didn't hear any of that, and just keeps moving on. So he's
Yeah.
at the ignoring stage of me.
Well, you've had a good show today, which
Who,
helps.
me?
Yeah, you've done pretty well today,
Oh, okay. Well,
which I appreciate.
you know what I have to say to that? You go right to hell. Anyway, Jay,
Yeah, man.
before we get out of here, we're going to test your award season knowledge based on the film we just reviewed, The Red Shoes. In a segment we like to call It's an Honor to Get Nominated. Now, Jay, we've gone back and forth with Powell and Pressburger. There's some films that have gotten Academy love and some that haven't. So I must ask you, Jay, was The Red Shoes nominated for any Academy Awards? And if so, what was it nominated for? And did it win anything? And if so, what did it win?
Okay, so I read a lot about this book, and they brought this up a lot.
Damn it.
However, I don't remember anything about it.
That's the J. Ledbetter I know. Sophia, that's totally 100% him, isn't it?
It is, but you also never mind. I'm not going to go there.
I believe the one I do remember was art direction. It won that one, correct? Or production design, whatever it's called. I don't know.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
Art direction, color at the time.
Entirely deserved.
Sophia. I do like the black and white and the color distinctions back then. That's great.
I'm going. The impression I got from reading was that it got decent play at the Oscars.
Okay.
I'm going to assume it got a screenplay.
That is correct.
I'm going to assume it got music.
Yes. It won.
It won score?
Best music scoring of a dramatic or comedy picture.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess no acting noms.
That's correct.
It'd be kind of hard to nominate this for acting.
Would it?
Anton Walbrook
in like
should
a
have
traditional
won.
sense.
Oh, in a traditional sense. I was thinking, come on, buddy. You're better than that.
I'm going to guess no picture nom.
Would you?
Did it get a picture?
It was nominated for Best Picture.
That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Isn't that great?
As sort of maligned as this was broadly, for it to get an Oscar nomination is a little surprising.
Well,
It did so well in America.
Anything else?
Did it do director then?
No.
Directors? No
Unfortunately.
directors.
I'll give you a hint. You're looking for one more.
Costumes? Stooms?
No Stooms, unfortunately.
That's
Stooms should have been
horrific.
Stooms should have been. That's an insane egregious.
Cinematography?
No, unfortunately.
Are you kidding me?
Don't make
every week by week, the Oscars get delegitimized for me. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
I know. It's great. That one's particularly bad.
That's bad.
What
It's also bad too because costume design only had 2 nominations.
Editing?
Yes, nominated for best editing. And that's
just
it.
The shoe shot alone.
Picture, best writing, motion picture, best film editing, best music 1, best art direction, color, set direction, color 1. So
That's good.
nominated
Well, I mean,
for 5, 1, 2.
It wasn't that well shot.
Costume design, and I assume it costume design color. Only Joan of Arc and the Emperor's Waltz was nominated. So it didn't even get to get nominated in
The Emperor's Waltz is that the Billy Wilder movie?
Yes, that is correct, Jay.
That movie sucks.
The film that won was Hamlet from Laurence Olivier.
Yep.
The Red Shoes was nominated alongside that with Johnny Melinda, The Snake Pit, and The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
All right, so I've seen 2.
Treasure of Sierra Madre, a fantastic film.
Great film. Spike Lee's favorite
it's like
film, I believe.
if you're not going to give it to The Red Shoes, Treasure of the Sierra Madre is right there.
Especially since John Huston won Best Director for The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
I can understand this movie in its moment not winning Best Picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get that.
It wouldn't win Best Picture now. Like I don't think it ever is the type to win Best Picture, unfortunately.
Johnny Belinda.
It is so influential. There are so many movies I think about when I watch this movie.
It really is. It's one of those that's just like, it's kind of like, you want to know where all your favorite directors have stolen a lot of their influences from? This movie.
Yeah.
But also just imagine stopping your movie just to an absolute, grinding it to a halt and being like, hey, here's 20 minutes of insanely compelling imagery.
Well, it's crazy that An American in Paris won Best Picture, and that's one that
totally indebted to this movie.
Lifts from this.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Singing in the Rain. I mean, the whole like Broadway melody sequence is highly indebted to this. You know,
for sure.
That movie is also. I mean, that movie's a perfect movie, but
really, All That Jazz is the closest comp to specifically the ballet sequence in this movie.
I think also
Yeah.
too, just about the flawed individual at the center of stuff as well too.
I mean, the difference is that
That's a perfect
the
movie.
Red Shoes is about the joy of creation, and everything and all that jazz is about the agony of being an asshole.
Sophia, have you seen the Red Shoes on the big screen, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's the greatest experience.
Jay, have
It
you?
really is.
I have not seen all that jazz on the big screen.
No, I
I
said the
think
Red
that
Shoes.
is. Oh, the Red Shoes? No, I have not. I
Sophia and
finally missed something you said.
Jay, there you go. It took us this long. Jay, do you know that Sophia and I almost had a chance to see the Red Shoes together last year in well, not last year, but in 2024.
A print at the Academy Museum.
Yeah. Do you know what we decided to do instead?
Go grab a tiki drink at a tiki bar.
No, buddy. That would be actually great. We had to do our jobs that night and go to a film
stupid.
festival screening at AFI for
Of-
the world premiere of Robert Zemeckis' Here.
Oh, well, that worked out well for y'all.
One of the all-time errors for me.
Yeah, I think it was also because we were at a pre-party for the film Nickel Boys and hanging out with Joe Maffrey and Ramel Ross. And we ran down Hollywood Boulevard to get our seats for Here. And I kid you not, Jay, for a world premiere, there was at least half that audience there. And by the end of that movie, another 15% Sophia had left, at least during the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. But if you want to read that review, it's up at
Oh yeah, I
AwardsWatch
wrote
now.
that.
I was sort of
And Sophia
anticipating that
re-
movie when it came out.
I did write that review.
And you hated it, right, Jay?
Awful.
I found it pretty abhorrent,
Yeah. It was so weird that certain people were trying to like reclaim that movie and whatnot. When it's like you
I would
guys
say broadly, people who look like me and are my age seem to like that movie a pretty
Yeah.
decent amount.
the white men of a certain
Yeah.
generation, for sure. Sophia, thoughts on Johnny Belinda?
What?
Well, it's nominated here for Best Picture and won for Jane Wyman.
I'm not a big Jane Wyman fan unless she is working with Douglas Sirk.
Yeah.
Like this win in particular for Best Actress.
Where do we put this on the tiers list? Did we put this in the D or the C?
Oh gosh, I would say I think C, maybe B. I feel like I still have my entire list. I feel like of what I
feel like
ended
you
up
have to.
doing. Where
yeah,
did I
but-
put her? Let's see.
I just want to watch The Red
Live.
Shoes again right
No,
now.
they're not.
Was that
they're
like
not
like I
chronological.
swear to God, I
C
watched
tier.
C tier.
C
That's
tier.
That's being generous, I think,
Mhm.
also too. Jay, I immediately finished watching the movie. The next day, I was like, I should just put this on again. And I want to go back to Sophia's premise because Sophia said at the beginning of this episode that she would put this as potentially number
yeah.
one.
Mm.
And I got to tell you,
Fair.
at the end of this movie, I went, I might put this number one.
I mean, what I said in my little letterbox blurb was, in many ways, this is the movie. Like, it's the movie.
Yeah.
I think there's been 3 movies in the last 2.5 years that we've done this show where I thought I could put that on a sight and sound list at number one. And that obviously
Primary colors.
well, okay, 4.
There are a lot of primary colors in the Red
Yes,
Shoes.
there are. So I thought about 4
Sophia.
films that if I did the sight and sound
Wonderful.
list, then they would be on them. And one of them was obviously There Will Be Blood. And then The New World for me. I know Jay would say The Tree of Life.
I would also put The Thin Red Line on, but that's me
man,
being like psycho John Carpenter who put like
exactly.
6
Sophia would
Howard
put-
Hawks movies on his.
Sophia,
sight and
you would
sound
put
list.
would you put a Malik on your 10?
No.
You wouldn't put
Mm-mm.
Days of Heaven?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I can pull up my sight and sound list that I made.
But I think, Jay,
I want to hear Sophia's sight and sound list, but yes, Ryan, go.
I think this film, The Red Shoes, and Tokyo Story.
Tokyo
Is-
Story is
is-
definitely a candidate.
Sophia,
That was the best
Sophia
movie we
saw it
watched
on
last year.
that was
I
the
saw it
best
on the
movie.
big screen and killed
Yeah.
me.
Well, who is it? It is the best movie we watched. Second best is The
I think we
Graduate.
both agreed with that.
Yeah, The
It was the
Graduate
best
is,
one.
but also The Graduate
Beau
slash
Travail's up there.
Heartbreak Kid.
Heartbreak Kid.
Heartbreak Kid is just the perfect movie. I think about that movie all the time. You know, weirdly, the Nichols film that I thought about is because since it's got the Criterion release. I thought a lot about Carnal Knowledge in the last year. Just a movie that I like, but it's not like I would consider it like my favorite Nichols. But God, it's just such an interesting film.
Post Red Shoes. I was just talking to my wife about like, all right, so did you just like not like? Should I never ask you to watch an old movie? And she's like, I love The Graduate. And I was like,
Yeah, she got you there.
but that
Yeah.
has like sex and stuff in it. And I'm like,
There's also some
I love
playing
you
with
so
the
much.
form there too. You know what I mean?
I mean, that film feels incredibly modern.
Oh,
Yes, it does.
it's an incredible film.
Yeah.
It's a perfect introduction, I think, too, to people like trying to get into films from the past.
Sophia, do you
Yeah.
like The Graduate more or The Heartbreak Kid more?
The Graduate.
Okay.
But I like the Heartbreak Kid a lot because I also saw that on the big screen, which is a treat. Like it's
Yeah,
a hard
that's a
find.
little.
Did you see
treat.
that on like a real print?
A real print,
See,
yeah.
I saw it on a junk print. I saw it like a repurposed cable print.
Oh yeah.
The audio was really tinny.
There's something I love The
But I
Graduate.
still was very grateful for it because it's owned by like Billy Bob's tire supply, just degrading in a
Billy Bob
canister
Thornton?
somewhere.
He owns it? Wow.
No, my buddy Billy Bob, who owns a
okay.
tire supply and now has the rights to the Heartbreak Kid.
What a jerk. Anyway, Sophia, your list.
My sight and sound list. I'm realizing it's getting late, but
Yeah,
my sight and sound list.
I know. We're gonna wrap up. Just
This is the first time Sophia has been truly resentful of this podcast.
yeah, she's just like, all right, hurry it up, you morons.
I have an early flight tomorrow, but my sight and sound list, this is alphabetical order.
Okay. Oh.
Three Women,
Mm-hmm.
All
Bob
That
Altman.
Jazz,
Bob
Barry Lyndon,
Okay.
The Conformist,
Mm-hmm.
Don't Look Now,
Okay.
The Earrings of Madame
Madame
de,
de.
which I brought up earlier,
Mm-hmm.
Fanny and Alexander,
Yeah.
Phantom Thread, The Red Shoes, and Vertigo.
Jay, we gotta do Bergman.
I think I got two in common there.
I think we gotta do Bergman down the road,
You
Jay.
Barry, don't you?
Barry and All That Jazz.
I had the red shoes.
If you do Bergman, Fanny and Alexander and The Wild Strawberries are my two favorites.
Excuse me, Sophia. That's called Wild Strawberries, not the Wild Strawberries.
I didn't call it The Wild Strawberries.
I'll check the tape.
Listen, I've been here for 3 hours.
Sophia, sadly, I think this might be one of your shorter recent appearances.
It might be. It honestly might be.
She's getting mad at me that I'm prolonging this episode. But so that with that said,
I
Sophia,
know that it's Wild Strawberries though.
yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you. Sophia, thank you for coming back on this show. Can you tell everybody where they can
Last
find
time,
you?
I assume.
Yeah, it's probably the last one, right? Thank you for
Save
coming
the best
on.
for last.
Can you tell everybody where they can find you and all your work on the internet, as well as also a recommendation of the week?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Sophia_Sim, Blue Sky and Letterboxd at Sophia Sim. You can find all of my work at AwardsWatch, reviews, interviews, more podcasts. Recommendation of the week. I've been watching a lot of TV lately. But you know what? I'll do a movie. Woody Allen's Interiors. Saw that in the theater as part of a Diane Keaton series that was going on at Film at Lincoln Center. Really beautiful, like Woody doing Bergman. But speaking of Bergman, and Diane Keaton is great in it, and she's playing a character named Renata, and I always think of her and Renata Reinsva as really similar. So that was really, really great. And then TV show. Right now I am watching Love Story about JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette.
Oh, yeah.
The acting is all over the place. Truly all over the place. In a bad way for some, in a bad way for many. But the vibes are immaculate, and I am so obsessed with this man, Paul Anthony Kelly. he is a very important person to me now.
Wow. Is that a Murphy?
Yes, but he's not writing and directing, which
Okay.
really helps. Really, really helps.
What
Big
if you
time.
had a good idea but not a hack at the helm?
Exactly.
Mm.
So it doesn't feel as crazy and just like, why is the camera there? Why is someone saying that? You know, it feels a little bit better than that.
Anybody watch? Did he do the Ashton Kutcher show?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
the body one that's basically the substance,
It's called like Beautiful,
Hmm.
or what? I don't
the
know what it's
beauty.
called.
The
The
beauty.
Beauty.
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah.
that was a masterpiece.
Sophia, was that good?
I didn't watch that one.
Oh, okay.
No, I did All's Fair, but
Oh,
I didn't do the beauty.
I did
There's a
all
lot
this.
of Ryan Murphy garbage out
I
there.
did. I
Thank
did. I
Oh,
goodness.
there's
did.
a lot.
I did the first 3 episodes of All Is Fair, and I was just like, "This is too much. I can't. I gotta stop."
It's terrible, but it's a
It's
fun time.
yeah. I just it's like I've got other things I've got to do.
We all need trash.
We all do every now and then, but
I
I
need
think
more. I need more trash. I don't get trash.
I don't do
enough.
trash. I think I just consume whatever I would normally do with trash. I just watch sports, and that's where
Mm.
that's
It's male trash.
I
it's
watch a
male.
lot of
It's
yeah,
male
that's
trash.
just as trashy as
It's true.
anything I watch.
I think also too, like I'll have sports talk on in the background at work, just hearing people yell at each other. And I think that sports talk trash is the same thing as Housewives.
It's
If
like
you follow that, I'm not taking a shot at the Housewives. I'm just saying, like,
I don't watch a lot of Housewives, but
you know,
yeah.
but you know what I'm
I'll
trying
take
to
a
say,
shot
Sophia.
at
It's
the
like
Housewives.
Jay, don't do it. The fans will come after you. But you know what I mean. It's just like it's the garbage that like people have on the background.
It's
But
the
like you
soap
don't need to get to it.
operification of
Yeah,
sports.
exactly. There you
But
go.
you learn a lot about the human condition from reality
You
TV.
do. You do. And I think I think sports commentary is definitely
Sometimes love
reality
is
TV.
blind.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my weekly recommendation actually, because it's Ohio. So they're going to
Oh,
on the dates, they're going to places I've been, which is very surreal.
that's hilarious.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Jay, same drill, buddy.
Yes. Continue to listen to this podcast. Letterbox, Jay Ledbetter. Anything I'm writing at AwardsWatch. We're writing more.
Yeah.
Reviews so far
Can I say something?
mixed. What?
Can I say something though?
Yeah.
Doing a good job.
Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome, buddy. Sophia thinks
Recommendation
the
of the week.
complete opposite, but it's okay.
You're doing a great job.
This feels like when you're in kindergarten and you hand over like a ball of clay that is supposed to look like a person, and they're like, "You tried really hard," and that's what's
No.
most important.
I barely have any edits for you. That's great.
That's because it's so thoughtless.
No.
My recommendation of the week. I mentioned it briefly earlier. I have watched that Alyssa Liu gold-winning performance 60 times.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It is like watching water. It is the most beautiful thing. It is the best new release of 2026, hands down. I have it memorized at this point. It is truly transcendent art. It is something that did occur in a sport that you can truly call art, while also very clearly being objectively better than all the other artistic performances that everybody else put on. When you watch the silver medal performance, it is just like, why did they even bother coming? Why did they even bother trying to compete against this performance?
They all look so stiff too. Like it's just
And especially compared to the men's figure skating stinks. It's like watching, the like they have all these robots now that can do stuff quote unquote better than us. And there's like the robot that can shoot a half court shot and make it 99 times out of 100. But it just
That's
looks
called
awful.
Steph Curry, isn't it?
It looks terrible, and there's just no humanity to it.
Mm.
There's no humanity to male figure skating now because it's so violent and it's so athletic that it, in my estimation, is completely anti what figure skating should be. And as a true figure skating purist myself, I think we need to get back to the good old days. And that Alyssa Liu thing, like,
That sounded both really like forward and also extremely Republican at the same time.
I get goosebumps. It genuinely I am not. I've gone down the Alyssa Liu rabbit hole. She's a very fascinating person. I love her raccoon hair. People listening to the podcast can't see, but I too now have three-ring raccoon hair, and just out of pure respect for her, um, I truly was just blown away by it, and it's just the most amazing 3 minutes you'll spend watching anything all year. It's magnificent.
Yeah. It's absolutely fantastic. You're a complete idiot.
When she does the spin on her knees, that's cinema.
Oh,
That's cinema.
it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw somebody describe it as like the same feeling you had when Patrick Swayze did the lift move in Dirty Dancing. I was like, that's it. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the way she choreographed, it's just incredible. When you think about all the logistics of what that took from beginning to end, and then what she was able to do, her dress was beautiful. She looked like a shining star out there.
I like how she just put her hair up in a ponytail.
Agreed.
They all had very tight, slick back buns. She just had her hair pulled back in a ponytail.
Yeah. And then she put it down. See those raccoon rings? Those are fun.
There you go. Good job, Jake. You sounded like a proud dad there at the end.
That is I am being as sincere as I can possibly be talking about that because it truly moved me.
Yeah. And I kind of agree with you on the men's side. It doesn't elicit
Get
the
out of
same
here,
reaction.
Quad God. I don't care that you can backflip.
Didn't he finish 17th? And I'm like,
he
this
fell
is
twice.
He didn't do very well.
This would be like if they hyped up Michael Phelps and he finished last in the pool. Nobody, come on. It was such a letdown. It was and then she came in and dominated because like this Olympic showed, women are better than men, especially in
it's
the
just
United
they're
States.
it's like watching a different sport.
Oh yeah, very much so.
And I don't know how to judge figure skating. I don't know what they value more. It seems like they value the tricks more because that's more objective.
Yeah.
And that extra 2 minutes or in the back half of the free skate when your points go up.
Yeah.
If you do jumps when you're tired, that's great.
Yeah.
Because the backflips didn't even count. Right?
But also when she does the razzle,
understanding?
When she does the razzle dazzle at the end though, that's where it's I think she's in the energy. That's where the performance. That's where the performance takes over.
That little jump at the end.
Yeah.
That is perfectly timed to the beat of the song.
Sing to the music. Yep.
I'm telling you, I've got it memorized. It will be when we enter full. The afterlife is viewing one video over and over again. That will be my videotape. Is the Alyssa Liu gold medal winning free skate.
This has been the longest recommendation, and it's probably longer than the video itself at this point.
It's beautiful.
I know.
It is beautiful.
It is stunning.
It is stunning. Please go watch it. It's on YouTube. You can go watch it there. Well,
she seems so nice.
She does. Good job.
Her dad
buddy.
seems like a little bit of a lunatic, but
you can find me on Twitter, Instagram.
Do you know the story about her dad, Ryan?
You got to look it up. It's wild. It's a miracle that she's a skater in the Olympics.
Wait. I think I might have seen it.
He's sort of doing the Elon Musk thing. Trying to genetically
that could be 100 different things.
He's trying to genetically engineer
the perfect humans,
basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He has 5 surrogate children.
Wow.
From 5 different women.
Okay.
Of certain of very high qualifications for particular things.
Okay.
He's a successful lawyer who was
he went into exile though from China.
Yeah, he was in China. He was a protester in China, went in exile from China, which is pretty chill. And then
this is the craziest recommendation.
Wanted designer babies.
Jesus. And then he made an Olympic champion.
And then she quit skating after being. I went and watched. Dude, I went down the rabbit hole.
I know you have.
I mean, this was.
Sounds like you have.
She won the U.S. skating championship when she was 13 years old.
Yeah.
It was like watching Jet skate. It was crazy. And she had to be helped up onto the podium by these adult women. How degrading must that have been for them?
Yeah.
And then she was still the best. She got tired of being the best, retired at 16, came back at 18 and was like, Dad, you're not allowed around here anymore. You're done. I'm cutting you out of my career. Meanwhile, this guy spent like 750 grand on her being a skater. It's the most remarkable story. Alyssa, come on the pod.
Thank you, Jay. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky at Ryan McQuade77. You can find all my work here at awardswatch.com. If you like podcasts, we have the main show that's released mostly on Mondays, iTunes and Spotify, 5-star reviews. We greatly appreciate it. While we're on the website, please sign up for the newsletter. It's the best place to get all of our news, reviews, interviews, podcasts, and all sent to you in one place. The day that this is releasing, and this is not... was not intended, but the day of this releasing is my birthday. And that rarely ever happens. So my recommendation of the week is to see any one of these 34 films that I'm about to rattle off. Because I have been alive for 34 goddamn years.
Leaving.
And I'm going to rattle off.
You said mine was Sophia. You have stuff to do, right? Like
I'm just going to rattle off the list. I'm not going to go into detail, but I'm going to list 34 films, and you all have to see them by the time this next episode drops. So
I'm not sure how I feel about this actually.
Well, you've seen every single one of these. So
Sophia is literally crying.
Malcolm X,
and I'm not sure if that's out of fear or humor.
No, I'm just laughing. I'm just delirious. But happy birthday the day this drops.
So the films are in order of the year in which I was born to this year. Malcolm X, The Age of Innocence, Pulp Fiction, Seven, Fargo, LA Confidential, Out of Sight, The Insider, Almost Famous, Mulholland Drive, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Something's Gotta Give, The Aviator, The New World, Children of Men, There Will Be Blood, The Dark Knight, A Single Man, The Social Network, The Tree of Life, The Master, Inside Llewyn Davis, A Most Violent Year, Mad Max Fury Road, Moonlight, Phantom Thread, If Beale Street Could Talk, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, David Byrne's American Utopia, The Power of the Dog, Tar, Oppenheimer, The Brutalist, and one battle after another. If you want, the list is up on Letterboxd. You can see it there. You have a week to see 34 films. That is a gift that I am demanding from every listener, including Sophia and Jay, to do by the time we get to Tales of the Hoffman next week. All right? Sound fair? Thank you.
It's fair. I think I've seen all of those.
I think you have seen every single one of those. Yeah. There's no way that you guys have not seen all of those.
Sophia,
films.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Did you say Tales of the Hoffman, right?
Sorry, damn it. It's Tales of Hoffman. Yeah. Shit. Thank you, Sophia.
Hoisted by your own petard.
I really was. Yeah. Well,
I would have left it, but I had to.
Well, you know what? I'm going to edit it out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to leave it in.
Yeah, no, Jay, we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you guys have a lot to do.
I'll do one battle after another. That'll be the one on the day.
Okay, that's 1 out of 34. Congratulations.
Wait, so you want us to watch them in that week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Preferably in order, from 92
One of them is Malcolm X and another one's Oppenheimer. So we're clocking.
One of them is Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers,
yes,
and I expect it to be the extended editions.
Okay. So, Jay, we got a lot of work to do.
A lot of work. Listen, I don't ask for much from you guys, but when I do, it's got to be really good. So,
Sophia, why do you come on this podcast?
I'll answer that next time.
That's a question for your therapist.
Well, I don't know. She comes on this show frequently. We might just be the therapist she's been looking for. Who knows?
My analyst.
That could be it.
Yeah.
or the idiots. One of the way, either way.
Or it's
Next
just like
week-
it makes me feel more human to be around psychopaths. Yeah.
Anyway,
That
next
might be the
week
answer.
we will be back. We will be talking The Tales of Hoffman next week
Tales of the Hoffman.
uh, for our Powell and Pressburger movie series. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you all next time.